Hey everybody. I'm going to be alone for a little while anyway. So this is going to end up being another one of those uh, episodes of as soon as some people get in here to watch, you'll be able to ask you some questions and I'll answer. And I will blather on and on about whatever is going on in my life. I don't know if Scott's gonna make it. I know he was at the gathering, but I know he was coming back today. I did message him. I haven't heard from him yet. Um, I assume he's tired. And then, as you know, Forrest will theoretically filter in at some point, um, along with perhaps other Scott. Evan's been super busy lately. I got to talk to Evan too. Yeah, I keep expecting to see him. I need to have him. I need to ask of him a favor. There may come a time when I will ask a favor of you, and you will do this for me. Something along those lines. Anyway, hey Nathaniel, hey Kip. Um, if you either of you and anybody else who pops in, um, our own brand of ask me anything. Let's see, what did I do today? Worked, did some stuff. Worked on the pledge manager for Champions of Midgard. So if you were one of those backers, the 10th anniversary edition, if you were one of those backers, theoretically, you'll be able to, uh, complete your pledge here relatively soon. And if you missed out, well, actually, technically, right now, if you missed out, you can go to the Kickstarter page and do the late pledge action there if you missed out on the campaign. But yeah, so I mean, um, what was I gonna say? Anyway, theoretically, like I said, people will show up later, and I want to talk to Forrest too because WrestleMania was this past weekend, and I know he watched. And I want to get his thoughts, his takes on that, and of course, for the nobody that cares about that, will be able to listen to us talk about that. But again, Scott was at the gathering. I want to hear about the games he played. Um, I did get my copy of Galactic Cruise. So I contacted my friend Cullen, who he either watches these live or he tunes in after the fact. But I contacted my friend Cullen. I told him I need to deliver my copy to him so he can, play it solo or something to learn the rules. And then he's got to bring it back over and then we got to play it. Uh, I've heard nothing but good things about it though. And then uh, my goal will be that I will do a review of it. Uh, like the old days. Well, I mean, and the thing is that I think if I do a review, I'm not going to do a section of this is how you play the game. I'm just not going to do that. Plenty of people go out there and do that stuff. I mean, like people on podcasts review games, right? You can't see the things when they talk about games. You can't really see them describe it or anything like that. So I don't think there's anything different as far as that goes. The only difference is you got to look at my mug when I'm talking or whatever. Let's see what else is going on. I mean, obviously, um, there was the rampant moron that stated like this is how you can get a you won't have to pay any tariffs if you just use this magical number and here buy my book, and that guy raised a few people's um lowered a few people's IQ points by a little, uh but then he was shouted down a lot. um uh Not to make everything about, do you have any idea how bare shelves might get? Well, I mean, so the like the big theory right now is that there's been some uh rumors of that our president is going to back down uh finally because um like the people that actually donate money to him and keep him in power are finally saying, yeah, you can't do this. So, um, uh, but the I think that but who knows? Um, uh, I think that if we eventually um reach a certain level of insanity when it comes to that stuff, maybe people will come to their senses, right? And then realize that that's not going to do that. Um, yeah, Kabuki, if you go just Google just if you want to go down the rabbit hole, this guy post the, some guy like published one game ever called like High Noon, and then he did this big rant about how um Coolmini or Not are a horrible company, how Final Frontier Games are a horrible company, and went on and on, and it just followed my advice on how to avoid the tariffs. If you just put in some magical number um for your for what your items are, then you won't be charged any tariffs whatsoever, or you won't be charged 145% tariffs. And then like numerous people then posted like images of their tariff bills where they actually had like that magical number already put in on their thing. And then it basically turned into some weird Ponzi scheme thing of I managed to kickstart one game ever, and but this is why I'm the genius and you should be listening to me. Buy my book, so um yeah. That was that he's a tool, and but yeah. So if you want to track him down, you can. But just trust me, his suppositions about it have been thoroughly debunked and proven incorrect. Um, Fedigator, you want to know what my top WrestleMania match? Ooh, well, let me. I mean, as far as like just like the results that happened kind of across the board, I didn't really have a problem with like the like the results of matches in any way, shape, or form. So most of the things I really only I mean, so if I mean, I want to wait and talk Forrest because I want to go through each match and talk each match with him just to bounce back ideas. But probably the women's triple threat match. It was just really well done, even though like I mean I I was really pleased with the outcome of that one. Though I could kind of see it happening, like as I was thinking about before the match started, I was kind of trying to think of like, what are they gonna do? They basically have these two people, these big names, and not that Io Sky isn't a big name, but I mean, basically you have these two favorites or whatever, and then what's the narrative gonna be? And it's like the narrative should be that like Io retains, and because she was kind of like the afterthought. So that's probably my favorite. My second very, very close runner up was the four way for the Intercontinental. Just because I think Dirty Dom is just becoming like such a he's just a really I mean, I remember when he first started, right? I mean, like he was just not like there, like it did feel kind of nepotism-esque, it's like, oh, it's like this is Rey Mysterio's kid, and so but we're gonna let him wrestle. And it didn't feel like his ring ability was there yet. And then over the last, year or two or whatever, he's like grown and like he's got to that point where I mean, it's kind of like I mean, for like this pro, like Rhea Ripley as when as a heel, like she got to a point where people cheered her just because they wanted to see her wrestle because they were impressed with her ability. Like people loved to hate Dom so much that now they're cheering for him. So he's turned it around. He didn't have to have and he did that organically. So I'm really impressed. Um, I'm really impressed with how Dominic Mysterio has come along, and that it's going to be an interesting story that they're going to create going forward with Finn Balor, uh, because Finn works way better in my opinion. I realized that he did really great work in the Bullet Club, um, and but I want him to go face, but you can't really go face against Dominic because Dominic isn't. He's not a real true heel anymore because even though he'll cheat and people are enjoying it, so it's a tough spot for Finn to be in. I want Finn to go face again and go start chasing titles again, and I seriously want to see him bring back the demon. And just that was when he was like chasing after AJ Styles. I mean, that was good. I mean, it was just when Styles was like, the a heel champion, things like that. I mean, it just really worked really well. Um so okay, and I don't want to sit here and talk wrestling consistently because I'm gonna wait for hey Andy, how's it going? I don't want to do that, but so okay, so Living Color did perform at WrestleMania, which was fantastic. And I know this is it's I've talked many times about working security when I was in my early 20s. I worked in the local. So Fargo, North Dakota is the place where, like, if you have a big stadium show in Minneapolis or Chicago, you would either, if you're in Chicago, you went to Minneapolis and had a show. Oh, excuse me. Or if you're in Minneapolis, you'd be going down to Chicago or maybe heading up to Winnipeg for a show. And the thing is that you would stop in Fargo for one night and make some money. And so I worked security for tons of concerts, and I did the security for a concert for a Living Color concert, and they were really nice, super nice people. And it was a really good concert too. But anyway, so it was definitely cool to see them up there. I know the lead singer wasn't jumping around like a madman like when he was much younger, right? And I remember that. All right, so I'm trying to go through. Nathaniel, did I ever go to a Twins game? I've done to many Twins games, and you want to know if I ever saw Kirby Puckett play? I absolutely have seen Kirby Puckett. I did see Kirby Puckett. May he rest in peace. I mean, I've been to many Twins games. But I was in the stands for Game 7 of the 1991 World Series. I watched Jack Morris throw the 10 inning shutout and win the whole thing. So it's my greatest, like the great. I was physically present in the stands with my stepdad, who is no longer with us either, which makes me sad. But I remember he and I got those tickets our neighbor had. Our neighbor, next door neighbor had season tickets, and he went to Game 6, and then he said, I can't go to Game 7. And he's like, do you want to go? And and he asked us, and we said, yeah. And so I remember I was in my college dorm room at the time, and my stepfather called me. He's like, hey, I got 2 tickets for um the game tonight. Do you want to go? And I said, heck yeah. And so we jumped in a car and drove like 3.5 hours or whatever and went to the game. And I got to watch him win it all. So there you go. But I also saw him play many other times. We would make the trip down. It's about a 4-hour drive to the Twin Cities from here. So I went to a lot. And I've gone to a lot of games in the Target field as well. Um, uh, So Boardlandia shut down. Yeah, I mean, I don't really buy I don't really buy board games anymore. If I do, I go to my local game store, but I heard lots of good things about them. It worries me. I worry about people I think are going to lose some money, which sucks because and I might be wrong, so don't take this as, but from the little I've read, I mean, it sounds like they were one of these companies like Boards and Bits back in the day where you could just like buy games and buy games and buy games and have them put them together and put them together into like um basically these big giant shipping orders. And then eventually it was like, okay, could you send that to me? One of those things. And so it sounds like people could do that with Boardlandia as well. Of course, the problem is that, and this has happened like with places like Cool Stuff and Miniature Market. And I don't think they, I mean, Cool Stuff is out of the board game business anyway, but um, what happened with a lot of those places is that people would put these big giant orders together and then they'd say, okay, go ahead and ship me these like 20 games or whatever that I've been buying and having you put on hold for like the last, 9, 10 months. And then it was like, oh, we don't have any more of this game. And I remember like hearing from like the owner of Boards and Bits, Tom, back in the day, like he would be like, yeah, in a lot of those cases, like we would just order another one from distribution and send the one out that we had, like that we had saved to somebody else or something, knowing that we could probably hedge a little while until we get that extra one to replace it. So the problem with Portlandia is that it feels like, and I don't know this for sure, so don't quote me on this, but it feels like there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I not only did I placed some pre-orders and I placed some games and this, that, and the other thing. And they took the money, and you worry a little bit that they may have done a little bit of Ponzi scheme-esque action where it's like, oh, we're counting, it's like we took the money that was paid to us for these pre-orders, uh, you know, and we used it for other things, but we were counting on sales to continue coming in so we could then purchase those items from uh, like instead of putting that money in escrow or something, they do it. Now, I don't know if that's the case or not, but there's a lot of people that are saying, oh, I've got like $800 worth of pre-orders or whatever through them. And they said and they didn't say anything like when they in their statement, like we are 1000% 100 sure that we're going to make sure we complete everybody's order. I mean, I think there's going to be situations where people said, oh, it's like I pre-ordered these 2, 3 games with you. And, it's like so give me my 200 and some dollars back, and maybe they won't have it. I mean, because they're not taking in any more orders. Now, I don't know if that's the case. I mean, whatever. It doesn't matter. The whole thing is that um, this comes down to one of those things where um, the board game industry is a very difficult one to be successful in. And I've said this repeatedly that it's tough. It's a tough gig. And I'm very, very, very thankful that I have had the good fortune or whatever that I've had of being able to work in it for over 10 years. But you do, you run this risk all the time. And it is kind of like some people's house of cards are set up more sturdy than others, but they're all still ultimately a house of cards. And in a lot of these situations, they are precarious. And that goes for if you're a publisher or if you're on a game store or whatever. I mean, think about this game store, right? I mean, it's like I have all these pre-orders and I took money. I mean, again, I don't know this for sure at all, but just run through the mindset. It's like, here's a pre-order for whatever game that's coming out in June. It's $70. Okay. So they take 20 pre-orders for that game. They're bringing 1,400 bucks. They know their margin for that is X. So they have that much income that they know that they can use to reinvest into other games for purchase, for salaries, whatever purpose, right? They're not taking that money and putting it aside because they think the shares. Now all of a sudden, those games that they took those pre-orders for that were like for $70, when they get them, they're going to cost, instead of their whole their price through distributor, instead of it being say $35. Let's say it's 50%. Instead of being $35, it's $45. Well, that takes $200 away out of those 20 things. It's like another, you're losing that much money of this capital that you thought that you have that's been spent already, probably reinvested into the store. So it's, and they weren't expecting it. So you have that situation where it is, you're butting up against that. And if you don't have the ability to just lay low and chill like that right now, that's what Gray Fox Games is doing. We don't have anything in China that we need to get out right now. I mean, we're obviously going to be producing our 10th anniversary very soon. And that's, I mean, that's going to be an expensive game to make. But right now we have the luxury right now of we are just waiting. And we had a very good meeting, all of us for the company. And there are many of us, right? We had a very good conversation about, it's like what we can feasibly handle the tariffs being at and us being okay. And we have every belief. I mean, it just, you feel like things are just going to get better when that happens. Oh my gosh. Anthony's here. Now I don't have to, as soon as he logs in, I can't hear him yet, but as soon as he
Hello.
get, hey buddy,
I'm working and I saw you were alone, so I said, let me jump in.
I appreciate that. Yeah. But anyway, I was just, so Berlandia is closing and that sucks. So, um, I read like this is suing the government because of the tariffs. Yes, so Stegmeyer Games is suing the government, and I mean, and I'll just say this, and I'm not going to poo poo his actions in any way, shape, or form. I think he has Jamie has a voice, a very strong voice within this industry. He has the ability. I mean, he has, I mean, for lack of a better word, he has the ability, and I would say like the luxury of doing something like this. And I'm not saying that like it's because it's going to cost him a bunch of money or whatever. I think it's and I'm not trying to be pessimistic, and I'm not trying to take a crap on the idea here. But I mean, ultimately, I mean, do we really think it's going to do anything? I mean, you can't do nothing, right? You can't do nothing, and I agree. And I love the fact that he's allowing other game stores and publishers to chime in and be a part of it at no cost to them. And I think it's and I give him all the flowers or whatever, or however you want to call it, for the process. But I mean, the Supreme Court made the decision that like the president has like he's immune. I mean, just nothing. I mean, when they determined that that was the case, I mean, it was just kind of like, okay, I mean, uh, how are you going to sue somebody that's immune? I don't get it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely incorrect. I don't know. Um, uh, so I mean, it's just again, I think it's fantastic that we have somebody standing up for our industry like that, and I appreciate the effort that Jamie is doing, but I also, I mean, it's just, and again, I don't want to be negative. I just, I it feels like it's like a drop in the bucket. I mean, ultimately, what I mean, like the board game industry. I mean, I guess the toy industry and stuff like that, it's much larger, but I mean, we're part of that toy and game industry, right? We're a niche within a niche, if you will. Um, I think that it's going to be a situation where, um, I mean, the tariff situation has to get fixed before the toys come in. I mean, nobody's going to be happy if they're like, oh, I can't get my kids toys and games in for Christmas. I mean, that's where you start losing voters, and you start losing faith, in the presidency or whatever. So, um, anyway, how's work there, Anthony?
Oh, it's pretty quiet. That's why I said me call.
Yeah. I was at the Gaim with my son. We were and my wife and well, both my kids and my wife, and we were just my son's in the Olympic weightlifting now, and so like he's like I got to go to work legs, and I was like okay, and so we were all there lifting weights and doing stretching and doing gym stuff, if you will. And I was on the treadmill doing my like 10-minute warm up just to get the heart going a little bit, and uh I like they have a bank of TVs, and you can sit there, and they have things going on different TVs, and one of them had Fox News, and like of course like I can't hear it because I'm not tuning my headphones into that channel that they have there, because I wouldn't. But I'm sitting there looking at this, and I'm just and there's no captions or anything, so I can't read, but I mean, just the headlines. I was just like, how is this quote unquote news? And I was like reading the crap that they put on there. I was like, I just, I felt like moments of like tyrannical anger over it at times. And I
Was
was
it
like,
was it about how Gwen Stefani said that there's a third person as part to make a marriage work?
no,
Okay.
what did Gwen Stefani say?
They had posted something. I saw it before. People are commenting on it without reading it. And she said she made a comment that how do they make a marriage work? She said, well, we have a third person as part of our marriage. And she meant God. Like we know they're very religious people, and they believe in faith and they pray to God and whatnot, and that's what she said. But like people are like, oh my God, they're like they have a third person. Like it's like provocative, so you have to put stupid shit up there.
Got it. No, it had nothing to do with that. It was just like talking about how about like some 60 Minutes director quit his job over just, and like they said, rumor has it he even cried when he quit his job over Trump or
Walking
something
up
like
the
that.
hill had
What? I but strangely enough, I worked security for a No Doubt concert once, a thousand years ago, and I got to have like a 10-minute conversation with Gwen Stefani when she was just a punk ska girl, and not like whatever she is now. Apparently having three people in their marriage kind of person. So
well, hey, Lance, it's nice to meet you.
yeah, no, I they were like at the either the second opener or the first opener for some, I forget what the punk band was. It doesn't matter. And I worked the door that led to where the tour buses parked. And so I was standing outside that door. So, and then I had a key for it, to let people in and out, and or I'd hold the door if like people were like there was a large number of them. And um and then while I was standing there, and just kind of in like a cool summer evening, the door opened up, and it was Gwen Stefani, and she said, "Is it okay if I come out here and smoke my cigarette?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." She's like, "Okay, well, will you?" And I had my security shirt on, and she was like, "So, okay." And she's like, I just don't want to be in there because it's too warm." And I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." She's like, and then she's like, "Oh, so," and then and she sat there, and I said, "Hey, I think your album's really good." She said, "Thanks a lot." And then more nothing. And just one of those things where it's like, oh, it's like we go here next week. Oh, that sounds nice. How's the tour going? Generic stuff like that. And then she finished her cigarette, and she said, "Okay, well, thanks a lot." And I was like, "All right." And I unlocked the door and let her in, and that was my 7 to 10 minute moment of hanging out with Gwen Stefani. I'm sure she remembers it forever.
Yes, I'm sure she does. This one goes out to the guy from Fargo, North Dakota, who let me smoke a cigarette outside.
Yeah, no, she was very nice. She was very polite. So, um, but yeah, no, I mean, I had not heard that. I had not heard that Gwen Stefani said anything weird or anything like that.
I th-
Oh,
I thought maybe you were the third person. I just saw
Oh, well,
that.
yeah, the guy in
It's me,
Fargo.
Blake, and that guy from Fargo, North Dakota.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, so um it's like I remember when I did security. I mean, it was like there was only like maybe two uh bands that were turds, right? I mean, there was like everybody else was just super cool, super nice, you know. So just one of those things. Um, let's let's see here.
It's really strange that you said Gwen Stefani. I had TikTok going through my head, not TikTok going through my head, but TikTok, TikTok, da, 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 da. Morning, if you can hear me.
I can hear you, Barry.
Uh,
Um,
you're so won't we?
Robert, I did no such thing. I was not foolish enough to think that I was like, hey, so what are you doing later? And to Gwen Stefani. I think that was when she was still dating the guy that was in the band, no doubt. Before she was with Gavin of the who are the turds? Well, here you go. Big shocker.
Bush.
Insane Clown Posse were a couple of turds. Um Violent J and Shaggy Two Dope were horrible human beings. Um I'm trying to remember. Um I was this upset me. Voodoo Glow Skulls were actually really were turds as well, and that was a ska punk band that I really liked, and I was like, looking forward to like working that concert and getting to meet them. And they were like rude to the fans. They were rude to the everybody. I mean, they were just having a bad day. I'm thinking. Um, yeah,
Mm,
Scott, why are you in chat? Why aren't you in here? You jerk! I don't want to hear about the fact that you're
he's busy.
traveling or something.
You were talking about Jamie suing Trump or the government. I read something the other day that there was another branch of something else which was going to sue him as well.
Yeah.
I think it was car manufacturers. I can't remember. And it's like, okay, well, they're doing his favorite trick. That's what he used to do to everybody. Well, still probably does. He sues everyone, doesn't he?
Well, yeah. I mean, theoretically,
And now I'm thinking of a Weird Al Yankovic song, "Sue You."
sue you. I'll sue.
Yeah,
Oh, um, I mean, uh,
it's too
got
early.
I've got Concrad. I'll try to jump in for five. I don't want to hear any excuses. Um,
Oh, there's a con going on.
The Gathering.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I forgot about
It's all their with their secret handshakes and you
that.
know.
They bought their tickets. I say, let them crash.
Um,
So the big question: have you got Oblivion?
no,
The
I mean, why would I get Oblivion when if one I beat Oblivion back in the day, and then when I could just beat Skyrim for like the 10th time.
Yeah, you're in that boat. I'm kind of like one foot in both worlds. It's like, yeah, it'd be nice to have another new game, and if I get it, my daughter will play it. But it's like I'm hearing that it's still the same feel. So there's going to be like those long moments of searching for something which you can't find unless you put the bloody arrow thing on it, or moments of just like
Yeah, I mean,
quests bugging, and you're supposed to go and speak to someone, but they're not there, or the dialogue option is not available.
Well, people always get this into their mindset that they're like, oh, we're gonna play this and it's gonna be just like before. And the problem is that like it Skyrim is such a much better game. And so if you have that, I mean, Skyrim is just kind of like you're going to be like, well, why isn't this more like Skyrim? And you're going to be like, well, because it isn't. It isn't Skyrim. It's Oblivion, and
Mm.
and Oblivion was great. I mean, don't get me wrong. I
Oh
really
yeah.
enjoyed it. I mean, hell, I enjoyed Daggerfall back in the day. So
Mm.
I mean, but yeah, no, I don't think I'll bother. I mean, just give me the next true one. Give me the Skyrim sequel instead of this prequel bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Yeah. I mean, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I mean, Oblivion was the game which got me into like an open world RPG for the first time, and I loved it. And I was telling my daughter yesterday when I was showing her the video, I said, "You remember this game?" She goes, "No." I said, "When you were about 2 years old, I'd play this while you were dancing around the front room, and every now and again you'd see a door and you go, 'Door, Daddy, door.'" And so I'd have to go through the door, and then you'd have the loading screen, and she'd just like watch the red bar fill up as it.
Really?
Yeah, but yeah,
Well,
my daughter's a big Skyrim fan.
um, yeah. I mean, I remember when I played Red Dead Redemption, and my little kid would get mad at me for killing the rabbits. Don't kill the rabbits. I was like, but I need like 5 pelts to make my jacket.
Ah,
Just like things like that. Um, yeah, I know. I mean, just give me my new Elder Scrolls. Give me my GTA 6. I mean, give me I mean that's what I want more than anything is that just
yeah, new stuff
yeah, I mean,
with new dynamics, new physics, new
well,
weightiness.
and the thing about Skyrim is that it's just especially with all the mods and everything like that, you can create your own world of playing that game and however you want, and it's pretty amazing.
Hmm.
So, um,
Yeah, I'm a mod-free person.
oh, I mean, seriously, go to oh, I mean, I can't remember the name of the the website. It's like Nexus Mods or something like that.
Yeah,
And
I think I've heard of it. Yeah,
go there and like, I mean, it's all free. I mean, you can pay them like basically the only thing that sucks is that you say, "Oh, I want to download this mod," and it's like 10 gigs, and it's like, "Oh, you can download it at like 5K a second." Or if you pay us $1.99, you can have a month's membership and you can download fast, right?
hmm.
So you'll pay them the $5 or whatever just to have. But seriously, it's like it it opens up everything in the game that like things you never knew. It opens up all kinds of it adds like a whole new island. You can add a whole new island with all new brand a bunch of missions and dungeons that
Yeah.
people have created, and um changes stuff to make it look, improves the graphics, improves everything.
Are
You
you
know
talking PC or PlayStation?
PC.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
it's fun to mess with the stuff and like create it all, and
yeah. I,
so I mean,
I'm a PS5 man, so
okay,
I've tried some of the mods, some of the graphical implementations, but it's like not really much difference. And I'm like, I just want my trophies.
yeah, I mean, I can see that. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Red Dead and Red are still my favorite Rockstar games over the GTA games. Yeah, I can see that.
Mm.
Um,
RDR2, amazing game.
RDR2 is ridiculous. I'm doing my like fourth or fifth playthrough. There's like certain points that like I can't watch. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but I mean like I won't say anything spoilers, but there's just stuff like, towards the end where it's just
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah.
It's just tough to like because you have so much love for Arthur, and you're like
Hmm.
and and you're just like, oh, you got done dirty, Arthur. You just it just makes you so mad. Like
It does.
unrealistically mad about it. Like, why am I getting mad about this character in a video game? It's like, what is my problem?
I
I'm just
started my second playthrough and it was like, can't I just shoot him now? And I'm trying my best. I'm looking for
mm,
little snags to try and get rid of the dialogues with, oh God, what's his name?
Micah.
Micah. It's just like, shut the fuck up. Stab him in the face. Go on. Just,
Yeah.
ah.
Yeah, no.
But that's part of the good writing.
Oh yeah. I mean all the credit to them, right? I mean
Yeah.
for
For creating emotions in their players
mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
dragging out. So you actually do live this guy's life and you
Yeah.
go through the good stuff and the bad stuff.
Um the final mission that he has with his girlfriend,
Mm.
and like, and it's just kind of like it's one of those things where it's like, and she convinces him to go on the date, and they go to the show, and you're just kind of like, and then uh when he gets the letter from her, and the girl says, "Oh, Arthur, she's not worth it," and he looks at her and goes, "Well, then who is?" It's
Mm.
just kind of like, oh, damn, man. Like that's just they still have never released the soundtrack to that. Like you can find it. Like people have gone into the game files and
Ripped
and
it.
and, and ripped it out. But like they never just released it. Like did an official release of the soundtrack.
Mm.
And
It, it is good.
yeah, no, it is good. Um
Yeah, there are moments which pulled me up when like singing started to happen. It sounded like a Western band, and I was like,
yeah,
all of a sudden I'm not in the same game. So there was a little bit of disconnect sometimes with the music,
I
but
can see that.
story wise, it worked. It helped with the emotion, or part of the storytelling was in the song.
Hmm.
So I
Hmm.
think there was
Hmm.
like a song right at the end as well, and it was like, eh. But again, as a musician, I was deconstructing the instruments they were using, the EQ on each sound, and it was like, wow, this sounds really rich and well produced. So at the same time, I was like, yeah, this song sucks, but it's well put together.
Yeah.
And again, there's no
Um
way for me to listen to that song again unless I search YouTube. I can't, or find a save file.
I it's like I can remember, and I said this before, and I know I'm going over some ground that I've mentioned here before, but like I can remember being so excited when I was a kid that I was when I was like for Bard's like the original Bard's.
Hmm.
Yeah, and playing on my Commodore 64, and like heading getting on my bike after, I mean, like just having to go to horrible school all day, but knowing that Bardstale was
Was
waiting for
at
me
home.
when I got home. Because and just riding my bike like the entire way home, and I was like, gonna get home. I'm gonna get home and I'm gonna play Bardstale. I'm gonna play Bardstale. It's like, and it's so rare to like find those things in games. Like I remember um uh Elden Ring. was when I played that and beat that. And that was
Hmm.
like, and I never, I beat it and I never went back. I didn't do the DLC or anything like that. I just was like, that was enough, like I'd had enough at that point. But um, and like Skyrim was definitely one. It's just I like when games like that are like kind of
A complete package.
yeah, they just they remain with you. Like I remember all the hours I spent playing Ultima 4, that game was great. I mean, um it's and it was clunky as hell. I mean, comparatively now or
Okay.
whatever. Well, I mean, it was very um the game was took forever. Right. I mean, but for its time, I mean, that was like kind of an open world game. I mean, in all honesty, I mean, because like the game it wasn't on rails. I mean, you just started and it was like, oh, and like one of the very first things they says is like, oh, you should definitely go and speak to Lord British and ask him. And that was like to find out your main quest, which was you've got to um the the world needs an avatar, which was like, basically this pinnacle of good and greatness. And because then like the world will have something to look up to. And so you went off on this quest or whatever to become the avatar. And to become the avatar, you had to like basically do all of these you know you just basically had to do good things constantly,
Hmm.
so like basically all these 8 attributes that you didn't know what they were, like sacrifice and compassion and honesty and whatever. You just had to go through your life and travel the world. And then once you attained a certain level over those things, like if you became the pinnacle of compassion, then you had to go to the dungeon of compassion to get to the bottom and then have the avatar. Uh, there was like basically this thing where you would uh, touch this. You basically the final, and then you would become the pinnacle of compassion for the world. And if you get all 8 parts, then you were sent to this final dungeon to complete this basically this big long dungeon, and then there's no big bad guy at the end, but at the very bottom, then you become like the avatar of the land or whatever. It was tough to do. It was difficult to pull off. It was a lot of time.
Hmm.
And if you ever did anything to screw up any of the thing, like like if you um like really like if you ever like were in a combat and you ran away, you lose your valor. And if you lost that eighth, because it was one of those things where it's like you there were the eight virtues, and if you lost an eighth, you had to gain it back, and you had to go through the process to gain it back. It was horrible. And then
Oh.
plus it's a Commodore 64, and so getting
Yeah.
it to load everything and takes forever. And if you screw one thing up, you're screwed.
Yeah.
It was
That's why I used to. I didn't play Bard's Tale, but I played Mercenary or Damocles, and
oh yeah.
yeah, I same thing at school. Is like couldn't concentrate on what I was learning, but it was a case of, well, you know what? I'm gonna go around my friend's house. He's gonna play Damocles, and I'm gonna sit by his side, and I'm gonna draw the maps out of every city that we find, and note all the things that we find in each building.
That's
That was my highlight.
that's commitment.
It's like, do we use plain paper? Do we use gridded paper?
I remember sharing maps with each other uh for Bardstown.
Yeah.
Like, like, oh, I got floor 2 of Kyliran's tower. Oh, okay, cool. What'd you get? And just like that kind of thing. And it's like, okay, I managed to get this. Okay, share that. And it's like, oh, okay. Where are the spinners? Where are the traps? Okay, yeah, they're here. They're here. We'd have all kinds of stuff like that.
Mm.
It was fun stuff. It was, it was when you had no time, when all you had was time.
Yeah. And your imagination. How do I get
Hello,
past that then?
everybody.
Hey,
Hey, Scott.
Hey, can you hear me okay? I'm on my laptop.
Yeah.
oh, we don't even get real. Don't even get real,
Oh,
Aldi.
not I'm not I'm not presentable enough to put the video on. Sorry.
He's in the bath
That's
with some
right.
No,
champagne.
I'm actually downstairs in my bunker
Oh, you have a
and
bunker.
because I don't want to get anybody sick.
Oh, yeah.
Michelle leaves on a cruise in like 3 days, 4 days.
Oh, where's her boyfriend taking
So
her?
show him with her mom. She's going to Portugal. Anyway, how's it going?
Well, better than you, apparently.
Yeah, no,
Mm.
it started yesterday. Like, so I went to bed at midnight last night because the flight was at 6:45 a.m. You know, so I wanted like 4 hours sleep, and I can do pretty well in 4 hours. So I go upstairs and I'm like, I felt something. You know, you kind of feel something in the back of your throat,
Yeah, you get a
Mm.
little
like
tickle.
and it started just tickling, little tickle, little tickle. I started like sneezing a lot, sneezing, runny nose running. Okay, great. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to bed sleep. Maybe when I wake up, I'll be fine. I've had that
Mm.
happen before. And
Yeah.
so I went to sleep midnight around 1 a.m. and then the alarm goes up at 4 a.m. And I kind of had a little freak out. Like when we calculated the time to get to the airport, I wasn't considering the boarding time. I was looking at the takeoff time.
Yeah.
And so I sort of freaked out. I'm like, hey, call Lincoln up real quick. I'm like, hey, I miscalculated the time we should leave, and we should probably leave like an extra 15 or 20 minutes early. He's like, sure. So we all rush. I woke him up basically. We all rush to get our showers, and I get out of the shower. Flight delayed to 8 o'clock, which is 8:30. I'm like, okay, 2 hours, 2 hour delay. Great, that's not too terrible. Then a 3 hour delay
Ugh.
while I'm getting ready. And I'm like, God damn it, why didn't I get this last night or like an hour ago? I would have been able to sleep for another hour or two.
Mm.
Anyway, so we go to the airport, get on the plane. It takes out. I don't think we took off till 10 a.m. I think around 10 a.m. So a 6:45 a.m. 6:45 a.m. Normal takeoff, delayed 3 hours. And so we take off, and when we're in the air, they're like, we're in a holding pattern for 40 minutes. I'm like, God damn it. Then I started not feeling better, like feeling worse and worse and worse during that time.
Mm.
I'm like, okay, well, I think I'm sick. Got a bunch of Kleenex out of the bathroom. I blow my nose a lot. Lost my AirPods on the flight, which sucks ass. Have you ever lost your AirPods on a flight? They popped out of my head. Like not one, but two of them popped out. Like I did like a weird like I bent over to pick something up. The left one fell out, and when I went down to get the left one, the right one fell out. So I recovered the left one, and the right one went under a seat. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I can't get it now. So the latter half of the flight was basically one AirPod, which was frustrating. And then like as we're landing, the flight attendant was sitting across from me. She's like, "Is that your AirPod?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's it. Thanks." She goes, "Yeah, it's good you didn't lose it." I'm like, "Yes, these are not cheap." Anyway, minor little story, but gathering was good. Came home very pretty 4 hours late. Um, really tired now, really sick, all the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
saw a
remember.
lot of people. Wish you guys were there, of course.
Yeah.
What are you
Um,
laughing at?
just wish you guys were there so you could have gotten sick just like me.
Believe me, I don't want people to get sick, dude.
No.
I'm not that person.
I know. I'm just
I
giving you.
I'd read it. Like I hope Lincoln and Nikki don't get sick. Like because we've been tooling around all day without a mask, right? I'm not wearing a mask, and they're not wearing their masks. They normally wear their masks, but
Mm.
of course it's like, oh, it's me, so they don't wear the mask. Anyway,
Yeah, no, I
I'm
got you.
hoping they do not catch this. It's not. It just seems like a cold. I did a COVID test, negative. I mean, it still could be COVID, but I don't have a fever or anything.
Yeah, yeah,
just sniffles and like kind of feeling shitty. A little bit of minor fever, or
Yeah.
like not even like it's like a 98-degree fever.
Chicken soup. Unless you get bird flu.
and rest.
Yeah,
Yep.
but
Um,
that doesn't preoccupy the mind. And when you're sick, you need your mind to be preoccupied. I
Yeah,
got,
that's why joined you guys.
mm.
I
I
couldn't sleep, but I'm a I'm dedicated to the Alaboom.
oh, look at you.
Got to get my Lance and Berry time, and
Yeah.
and
Well, no,
and
I've
Harry
been so
Glasscock.
used. I've been so used to
Are
talking
you
to
there,
you,
Harry
and
Glasscock?
yeah, that's it. He's
Anthony, are
here,
you
but
there?
he's working, so he's kind
Oh,
of
okay.
he's in
He's
and
in and
out,
out.
depending
Yeah.
on when he has something he has to do. No, I'm so used to having our conversations in the morning that I'm like, I was supposed to be doing something this
So,
morning.
dude, get this. I still did my exercise at the hotel.
Nice.
I think everybody was just like, because I would walk downstairs with my gym clothes, and everybody's like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" I had to answer so many questions. Like, I mean, it was good, right? Maybe I'll inspire somebody, other people to work out. But I'm like,
Mm.
you know what? I'm not breaking my streak because I'm on a 100-day streak of working out. It's a humble brag. So I'm like, I damned it if I'm gonna not do it. And you only got to do 20 minutes a day, right? I don't push it. It's like
Mm.
the 40 normal, the normal 40. So I was doing 20 minutes a day, and I was in the gym, and then like everybody people double take and I walk out. Like, what? Who are you? Um, but it was good. I felt good. So today is
Yeah.
going to be my break my streak because I did not work out because we woke up at 4 a.m. and I did not get my standing goal because we were in the plane all day, and I did not get my move goal. So I'm breaking
Mm.
my streak as of today. Sucks. Pissed.
No, I mean, I was telling these guys. I mean, my son, um, he has his Olympic weightlifting on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays at the school. But whenever he has time off, he's like, let's go to the gym, So I mean,
Yeah.
and so he basically gets everybody else goes to the gym, and it's kind of nice. So, I mean, like I went and I do my little bit of cardio, and then I go
Do your
and
stuff. Yeah.
me and him
That'll
lift
help.
weights. Me and him lift weights, and there's a lot of times that I'm just like, I mean, it's like, oh, I could take it easy, but I'm not gonna let my son like do more reps than me. I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Get a little competition going.
yeah, I mean,
Yep.
and so just gotta make sure he doesn't think he can take his old man.
Uh,
Yet anyway.
yeah. So it was a good gathering for 4 days. It was just quick, Friday night and then leave on Wednesday morning. Um, I didn't really play a ton of new stuff. Like it wasn't like there was not like that much new. I mean, there was new stuff, but it was like I kind of had also a work event on Tuesday night where I was kind of like side thinking about it the whole time. Like Tuesday night was like, okay, this thing's coming up on Tuesday night. I got to be prepared. I got to make sure everything goes smoothly. And it sort of like sidetracked my brain to I wasn't able to enjoy a longer game just because I was like, oh, I should be getting ready for my event on Tuesday night. Like how your brain kind of like there's not like I knew on Sunday. I was ready. I was ready as I could be on Sunday night, but I still my mental position was like, you're going to be busy Tuesday night, so you can't be they can't be you can't be laid back. Which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it was a weird gathering for me. First time I've ever gone for 4 days only. Although I think I went for 4 days back when I first went, like because I couldn't take off that much time at work. But I have been doing the full 10 days for years, years and years. And then of course I'm sad on Tuesday night. Everybody's like, "What? You're leaving?" Like that kind of what?
Yeah.
How could you possibly leave? I'm like, guys,
Easy. I have a
I gotta,
life.
I would not say that. I blamed it on the Kraftwerk concert. So we're going to Kraftwerk tomorrow, which I'm like, I hope I'm well enough to go. I would stink
Well,
if
I
I
mean,
go.
you're only going to feel worse after going to craft work.
Oh my God, I'll feel so elated. I'll be so charged with electronic energy. Cannot wait. I've been following them since like 82. Like we were into it in 80, the early 80s because we we were doing breakdancing stuff, and Kraftwerk was like sampled a lot. Kraftwerk.
Okay, I believe you.
And they're in their like late 70s, early 80s, I think. Some of the guys in the band. The main guy
I
is
bet
the
he
only
really
original
rocks.
yeah, the main vocalist is the only original band member remaining. But I'm stoked. I'm hoping I'm okay enough. I will make myself okay
Hmm.
to go.
Like when my friends got excited about going to a Crystal Method Crystal, I was just
Oh,
like,
I would love a Crystal Method concert. I love
and I was
Crystal
just like, what do
Method.
they do? They come out and put a CD in and push play and say,
Come
thanks for
on, it's
coming.
like there. I'm sure. No, it's probably there's performance, dude.
He's like,
But I don't
no,
get the
there's
DJs. I
lights,
don't
is
get
what
the
he said. He
DJs.
got so mad when I said that. I was just like,
What?
he's like, no, there's lights. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. There's lights, you say.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
taking the piss.
That's why I've never gone to a Jean-Michel Jarre concert. I love Jean-Michel
Yeah,
Jarre, but I'll never go to his concerts because it'll just be this
press play.
spec, and it's kind of like listening to the CD but louder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
Different
also have
variations of
lights.
the same
yeah, but they
riff.
have lights. Like when I saw
Yeah,
the
but you would probably
Prodigy, they
like it
had
just because
lights.
you would share the experience, Barry. The
Yeah.
shared experience of being there with Jean-Michel Jarre.
Eh, I,
No?
I have that probably that same pleasure just putting the headphones on and listening.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like going to concerts. They're really fun.
yeah. I'm off. I don't like concerts anymore.
No.
No. The magic is actually being in the concert, being on the stage.
Yeah, I
So,
imagine.
yeah, I did when I was gigging a lot. I was like, this is a great experience. Singing a song, playing an instrument, and people dancing and singing along with you. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Therefore, going to someone else's concert is not the same. You just feel like a speck of dust.
Okay.
And
I see.
again,
I guess if you're as a performer, you probably I can see that.
yeah. And as a depressive note, these concerts just become memories. And I don't want a memory. I want to be able to just tap into it and be there again. So,
Yeah,
but buy the DVD and then it's like, yeah, I'm there again. But if you can't get the DVD, you're not there again. It's yeah.
I see.
It's just
I
my
hear you.
personal weirdness.
I've never thought about it from the artist's perspective. That's really interesting.
Mm. Yeah, it's like when I go do Essen, I love demoing. I feel like the star. But if I'm visiting Essen, I just feel like nobody. I feel like a speck of dust, and that it's not the same sensation.
Right. You're not
It's not
part
the
of it.
same pleasure.
Yeah, sure.
Of course, you get to see all your friends more because you're just walking around and in your own time, and you just there's someone over there. I'll go and chat to them. I remember them from that. That's the designer of this game, and oh yeah, let's go and see if they remember me and stuff like that. But yeah, I like. I don't know. Probably just being the focus point, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's addictive.
Yeah. It sounds weird now.
Okay.
Psychoanalysis myself.
How's the
Well, we
Hobbit
played Liar's
hole,
Dice.
Forrest?
The best game of the con for me was Liar's Dice.
Was Liar's
You guys
Dice?
know you guys know Liar's
Yeah.
Dice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
it's a
epic
classic.
game. Yeah, it was so good.
How many players?
Full capacity. So seven, six, six.
I thought it was 8.
Might have been eight. Yeah, might have been eight. It was full ride. And then and I know you know this person, Lance Katcha won it. And it was fun. It was fun to watch her win.
Yeah?
Yep. And she had
Good
never
for
played
them.
before.
Oh, really?
Yep. And so we recreated the cover of the box. You know, the old Mattel, I think, or Parker Brothers. Or no, who makes it? Hold on. Can't remember now. But we recreated the poses on the cover. And it was just so funny. Like we're just cracking ourselves up. It was great.
Nerd.
Yes, very nerdy. Everybody's looking at us like, are we crazy? Yes, we're crazy. I had to there was someone sitting on my, because that picture, if you look at that picture of that cover, it's not natural. Everybody's on one side of the table. There's someone sitting in someone's lap. There's people like they're literally like a foot away from each other. They're in each other's faces. Hopefully, I didn't get anybody sick last night. Ugh, I didn't think about that.
Hope so.
Hopefully, really hope. What?
I'm sure they hope so as well.
Well, they don't know I'm sick now. I haven't posted anything yet.
How's the Hobbit hole there, Forrest?
Man, our second car broke down, so now I can't go out to the Hobbit hole until we get another car because it's irresponsible to leave my wife with no car. As she so eloquently informed me, and I was like, "Yeah, you're right." It's like there's no argument. I'm not gonna go out and play in the woods. So yeah, we're looking for a used vehicle right now, and I won't get
What
up.
happened to your car?
What?
What happened to your car?
It was just old as dirt. It was a 2003. We picked it up for $3,000 a couple of years ago. Beat the snot out of it, and the guy who fixes our cars, yeah, he's just this dude that works at a bar too. And my buddy went to the bar all the time, so he hooked me up with him. He's a great guy. He does real cheap, but he just bought it. He's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "We had a bunch of issues with it. It cost you $1,400 to fix it up. I'll give you $800 for it if you want it." So we took it, and we're gonna go look for something used now. But yeah, I mean, it was 2003. It was, we knew it was coming.
How long you
That
had
sucks.
Yeah, yeah. I really enjoyed going out the woods, the exercise. Now's the perfect time to do it because there's no bugs or anything yet. I can just go out there, rip all these weeds before they get too itchy, and because like now they're easy. Like it's just, but once they get more weedy, it'll like get on my shoulders and just yeah.
it?
Yeah, but no, I'm getting to it next week because next week's the big cleanup day where we clean up for like 6 hours is like a whole community campsite thing, and then I'll put in a day in the woods that day hopefully. But it's pretty close to having my grandma ready to walk on it.
What's the whole deal with Granny to walk? I mean, I just explained to me that just she wants to go for a walk in the woods, and you want to make it nice so she can.
No, I've been telling her about these woods for like, or about the trail for like 3 or 4 years, and she was a member there for decades. Nobody's done anything with the woods at all ever. Like they just been this like shit. They're trash riddled. The leaves never get raked, so they just sit on the ground for years and years and years, and then they pool water on top, and so it floods out there all the time, which just gets more mosquitoes. And I was just like, well, why don't we just go out and take care of it? And I was like, so I just started to do it and clear up the invasive weeds and do all that sort of stuff. And my kids come out with me all the time, and she just wants to see what it looks like. And she's 89, so she's not able to walk much as it is, but she wants to walk it. And so when she said that to me, it like really kind of lit a fire under my ass to do it. And literally, if I connect Bauer's Game Corner in some way with something I need to get done, I'm more likely to get it done, oddly enough, because then I'm like, yeah, maybe I make money off doing this. And I don't know. But then I found I just legitimately love being out there and working. And I think I'm pretty good at it, actually, which was surprising. Well, when I'm on animal, I'm good at it.
Well, hey, there's always that.
Well, no, it helps. It helps me see solutions 35 minutes before I figure them out a really fucking hard way. Where it's like, instead of just like, all right, I gotta take care of this damn problem and just do it stupid, it's like I'll like pause and I'll be like, okay, I can take care of this. Like this is the logical way to do it instead of just brute strength. All right, let's get this root out by just dig. Oh, I just need to dig this one area right here, and then get in there with the glove and rip out, and I can step on it and apply 200 pounds. Just little things that end up, saving you hours of time throughout the week.
Yeah, I do the same with my garden.
Well, sometimes
I'm going to move that.
Sometimes it's fun to manhandle them. Like just be like, all right, I'm going to do this. I don't care if this is not the efficient way. Like I want to see this fucker get ripped out. And just
yeah. I was doing my strawberry patch last week, and it was like that as well. I was like on my hands and knees, and it's like the satisfaction of ripping a weed out of the ground. But it's like where do I stick the little prong so I can lift it up a little bit without moving the strawberry, which is just like a millimeter of growing next to it. It's like, okay, right, I'll put it in there and go, yeah,
Oh,
success or failure.
that's a whole different type of weed pulling there. Like,
I know.
if I could do that, because you'd have to be precise. Like, I'm just a bull in the china shop just ripping dirt. Like, I don't care. But yeah, I imagine that's its own sense of satisfaction too, figuring out the best way to do that.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
it is. In talking of exercise, I'm going to leave you because I'm going to get dressed and go for a nice walk as the sun is about to come up soon.
Nice.
Yes,
Enjoy yourself.
I will do.
Yeah.
You too. Good to see you all.
Take care, Barry.
You too.
Take it easy.
Ciao.
Ciao.
No. Oh,
I got to play another game of Fate. I really love that game. I couldn't get my character going though. It was like I was teaching the game. You know when you teach a game, sometimes you don't play your character to the best ability.
yeah.
Yeah, kind of like I'm like I just want to keep the game going quick, so I'll just do it faster. But couldn't get my engine going, as it were. It's a challenging character. It's like a grandmother. It's an old grandmother who's like a witch. She throws rocks at people. Funny. I could not get the smashy smashing working.
Which one's Fate again?
Fate Defenders of Grimheim by Frixelis Games. Pretty modest Kickstarter. You can buy it in the store now for $50, I think. It's about $50. Oh, I heard that the pandemic or the tariffs thing was about to come to an end. Is that true?
Oh, that's the rumor.
Yeah, what the hell?
Oh man.
Let me just set things on
Really?
fire randomly
Oh,
and
the
see what happens. Super frustrating.
I can't wait to see the explanation.
Yeah,
Why? They won't bother. They don't care.
yeah, I don't care.
I mean,
Well,
A
then
victory will be declared, and
the
then
other side is hard enough to hit them on it hard. Just
But dude, it was pretty morose. Like there was lots of sad faces.
well, like how many people have gone out of business and like made
Yeah,
choice?
there was a couple people that are just like on the cusp of it. Sucks.
Well, no, like and made choices that are unfixable, right? Like, all right, fine, yeah, just do whatever with that inventory. Just get rid of it. We'll take, like what did like? Oh yeah, we'll sell this thing because we're never going to need it ever again. Like how many people?
Yeah, I don't know. There are a lot of people are pushed to the limits for this for sure. A lot of creative thinking.
Yeah, but imagine if you tapped out and then like 3 days later, it's like, oh, like I didn't need to
You can
tap.
tap back in
Like, oof.
unless you like put in a process something.
Crazy times.
It was on everybody's mind for sure. People didn't come because of the border.
it is the situation, in my opinion, is more of like, what if you're one of those goddamn companies that like, okay, I'll pay it, then it's gone. You'd be like, what the?
Yeah.
So now it's like, well, do I pay it? Do I not pay it? Do I wait? Do I not wait? I mean, it's just kind of like,
Yeah, it's infuriating.
it's, and then you get these jackasses that, they get 7 cents of knowledge to their brain and they think they got the answers, and it's so annoying.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Can I comment on one of those jackasses?
Sure.
So one of those jackasses, a very loud jackass, has been a very loud jackass for a while, even before this. Always touting about how they make their stuff in the U.S. and blah 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 blah. Was touting about how no, it's only 20%. You have to do this code, and someone's like, no, that's not true. He's like, I've imported thousands of products from, and I'm like, don't you make your stuff in the U.S.? Like, make up your mind. What do you do? Like you just want to be objected to go against everybody else because nobody likes you.
Nobody likes you.
Well,
Nobody likes you.
they've been kicked out of several things. They are non gratis, as they say.
Persona,
Wait,
persona
are
non
you
grata.
talking about DC?
Yes.
DC, who's DC?
If you're not,
I'll say his name. I don't give a shit. Dwight Cernak.
yes. I don't know what you're talking about, but this totally sounds like something he would say. I did some work for him at one point. I did a Kickstarter critique or something for him and reviewed some stuff for him. I don't think it was paid. He just added me on Facebook, but I see his stuff he posts, and it's like, wow, that is some stuff you're posting.
You can make all your stuff right here in the United States. And the best was there's a Kickstarter that's coming or a Game Town, something, and their advertising is that no tariffs because it's being made in Vietnam. And I just made a post. So what is your contingency plan for when the 46% tariff that was given to Vietnam that was pulled back for 90 days goes back into effect? They didn't respond, and then they finally deleted the comment. I wasn't knocking you. I was just asking. Do you have a plan in case this turns around again? But that's all.
Good old Anthony. Stirring the pot.
Hey, the pot needs stirred. There's not
It
enough.
does?
I advertised to people that if they wanted me to be that guy for them, I was available for a purchase.
Yeah.
This guy, Instagram or Twitter, I don't know what the fuck it is, that John Breaks Bad News, that is highly entertaining. It's this guy who just breaks other people's bad news like over the phone to random people, and it's wonderful. It is just wonderful to watch. John Breaks Bad News. I cannot recommend it enough. A buddy of mine showed it to me, and I now it just pops up in my YouTube feed, and I can veg on it for like 20, 30 minutes at a time, little clips of it.
John sounds like a jerk.
John is a jerk, it seems like, but he's entertaining.
Like all that other stuff, I don't believe any of it. Yeah, just like, oh, these are real people that asked me to do this. No, you didn't. This is one of those. Wouldn't it be cool if X? It's like when somebody starts telling a story about something that really happened to them, and it's just like, this had like a kernel of truth. Like you saw something that you thought that was neat, and then you created this whole fantasy story about wouldn't it be cool if this happened?
That Veronica Vaughn is one piece of ass. A friend of mine got with her. No, he didn't. Well, you can imagine.
No, you didn't. Me and her got it on. No, you didn't.
But you can imagine what it'd be like. Everybody on the bus? Good, great, grand.
O'Doyle's rule. Aldi, I got my Galactic Cruise.
Oh yeah. You pull it out yet? Have you learned it?
No, it is being. I am either tomorrow or Friday. I am driving it over to my friend Cullen's
Okay.
house so he can learn it and then he can teach me.
Yeah, very cool.
I
I think there was a copy there. There was the new Vital there too, which looked pretty cool. Speakeasy. That looked pretty great. But it's one of those games like an hour rolls. Like, okay, maybe some other time. I'll do it, but you gotta be prepared for it.
I want. Did you play Shackleton or Shackleford or whatever the hell it is?
No, like I told you, the Tuesday night obligation just threw me off kilter. I could not put two brain cells together to kind of like make a. I was basically just playing lots of little small things. No, I did play a
Yeah.
long game of Fate, but that was on Saturday. So I started like 11 a.m. We went to like 4, 3, something like that, 3:30. But I did not get the Shackleton, but I wanted to. I thought about it for a minute, and then I came, Tim Medivier and runs by me, and he's like, "Hey, you want to play?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want to play Shackleton." He goes, "I'll teach you." I'm like, "Great, let's do it." And I'm like, "How long does it take?" He's like, "It's fast, like under 2 hours." Like, cool, let's do it. And then of course I never see him again. Well, I saw him, but we played other things. You know, it's you make these weird ad hoc plans at the gathering. It just that never sometimes never come to fruition. It is the way of the gamer. At the
Everybody's
convention.
always like,
You
we'll
make a
play
lot
a
of
game.
plans.
This time we will, for sure.
I played. Hold on, I guess. I played a few games with people I had not played with in like 20 years. Like a long, you know, I was like, I made a point to like try to find them out and be like, hey, we haven't played a game in a long time. Let's play something. That was fun. I really like that. I also, do you remember Matthew Gray? I probably don't, but he was one of the original admins back in the day. I haven't seen him for 19 years. Basically, his kid is in college. His kids are in college now, so he can go to cons again. I was like, okay, wow, way to make me feel old. Like your kids are in college. I remember when they came to the first gathering, okay, friends in strollers. I was like, wow, wake up call.
Yeah, people get old.
We're not
It
getting any
happens.
younger. You should take advantage of this. That's what I told myself. Like, I gotta take advantage of situations. Can't push people off. I gotta like, let's just do it. Let's play. Go. Did a lot of that.
Yeah, that's the way. To
And then I also met up with Do you know who Anton Torres is? He used
Oh,
to work
yeah.
at Fantasy Flight. He was like one of their lead marketing guys.
Yeah.
He's really, really great. And we did a lot. We did two-hour sessions of electronic music, just chatting and like he was showing me stuff and I was talking about stuff I've done. And it was like we're gonna do a collab. I'm excited about that. We just gotta get that. We just gotta get the momentum.
Collab.
Yeah, a collaboration,
Yeah, I know.
a song. I'm excited. Very curious to see what comes out of it. He's excited too, because he's been in a rut. He's like, oh man, it's so great that we're doing this because I've just been stuck.
I'm gonna
Like, I
guess
get the
the
feeling
music's gonna come out of it.
no, I think sound will come out of it. Music, that's a different story altogether. My full intention is to make a track that can be played and you can listen to and have a good time listening to it. That is my intention.
I'll listen to it. I
Thank
can't.
you, man. I've put a few tracks out on Bandcamp and a few tracks on SoundCloud that I'm pretty proud of. They sort of sound like a thing. They're kind of shallow, but they're something.
Bandcamp.
It's hard to describe. Yeah, you go to aldibot.bandcamp.com. You can see my tracks.
Aldibot, baby.
Aldibot, my stage name.
Um, what else has
Kabuki
happened?
Kid, the warning. Kabuki Kid loves the warning, man. Did you know?
Loves the what?
He loves the warning. Warning.
Oh, sure. I don't
They're
know.
great. They're really good. Oh, so I don't know. If somebody has something else to talk about games. I can talk about the White Lotus season 2.
Well,
Anybody?
don't talk about it because
Anybody
a
watch
lot
that?
of you, not a lot of us haven't
Okay.
watched it.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
pretty great. I really like it. Something about that show. It's just interesting. You know, like you want to see what happens, and it's like it's got a it's got a very deliberate pacing, a little uneasy. You think it's always not going to be great. Like there's going to be something sinister in the back, right? It's like, oh, all these people are on vacation in this fancy ass resort, like crazy, crazy fancy, and then something sinister happens, and you start going, oh my god, what is going on? And I'm trying to figure out the story, and I was like, okay, I get it. It's sort of, you get it wrapped up by the end. It's nice. It's a nice little. The seasons are distinct, like they resolve, but there is a carry through. There is a storyline carrying through them. So I'm excited to try season 3. Oh yeah, you guys gonna watch Andor?
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh
I'll
man,
watch Andor.
I loved Andor. So good.
Excited to watch that with my family. We've been enjoying
Yeah.
something MCU or.
Keith was right though. He said it's not really Star Wars. It's like a space prison story. I'm like, yeah, kinda.
Yeah,
But I like it anyway. Doesn't
feel
matter
like
that it's Star
universe.
Wars. Like it's just good.
I like that kind of stuff because I feel like it just adds to the overall experience when I watch the rest of it. Like just
Right.
knowing there's different pockets of the universe.
Yeah. Definitely fleshes out the universe. I mean, the whole prison part was just so harrowing. For Star Wars, that's a weird feeling.
Yeah. I think part of the reason why people like it so much.
Yeah. I like it. Anything else I played? Oh, I played the new Scout. It's called Revolve. Very good. It's very good. It's a variation of Scout and very solid. We liked it. I also played a Matago game that was really great. I don't know if we can talk about it though. Probably can. Let me see if it's on BGG. If it's on BGG, I'll talk about it. Give me a second. Talk amongst yourselves.
We can wait.
Getting super excited for the Board Game Geek Math Traded Origins.
Oh yeah? How many items on the list?
I think it's up to 34 pages or something. I think like 800.
So, like 1,500 games?
No, I think it's like 800. I don't know.
800 games?
It's a lot. And I mean, it's until I think the first of like June or something when it closes. So it's only adding more stuff. But I'm just excited to clear a bunch of stuff out of my attic and like lump it all together and be like, here's 7 games. You know, you want it. Get that one person who just lets me in the door of like the good stuff at the top. And I start, I love the BGG math trades. The no ship one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What are you trading? You're gonna give away yet?
It's a bunch of random stuff that
Random junk or anything good?
What? I show
Anything good?
I mean, I don't think so, which is why I was in my attic. Let's see. How the hell do I flip this? I can tap it. Man. There it is. So I got it grouped up in a couple different ways. Like this is going to be family games from around the world. So I got like a couple folding games from Asia, like a Korea board game in there, Crazy Eggs, like some games that just didn't hit for whatever reason, but there's like 8 of them. So I'm sure that'll get something. This one's probably going to be spotlighted. Like these are all games that I didn't really like, except for Beowulf. Beowulf's actually pretty good, but these are 2 to 4 player games.
Is that the Reiner game?
I think so. Yeah.
Or is that the movie version? Yeah.
No, that's the Reiner one.
Okay. Yeah, I like that game a lot.
And that's like the basic thing. I just lumped together 6 or 7 games so I could get like something really good. Like this one is like
make like bundles.
Oh yeah, sweetener. So this whole pile right here is just nothing but 2 to 6 player games. So it's like that's going to be like one really great big box Kickstarter, I imagine, because that's typically how it goes. Like there's some trick taking stuff, some chill games. Those ones all go up to like 5 players. So that's like the shtick. And then there's a couple games that are like big enough on their own or weird enough that I can lump them with just like one other thing, and then they'll go.
I like that game you just passed up there.
You and the Cursed? Or Cosmic?
No, no, the one underneath that.
Oh, yeah. Lords of Infamy?
That one. Yeah.
I did enjoy that one. It just, I mean, I didn't enjoy enough to keep it. Like, and it just, yeah.
Well, good luck.
If I had the expansion, it might change my mind, but yeah. I didn't dislike that one. I just didn't like it enough.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to get like some Grail games and like my favorite part is when you get like the person who like has all the expansions. So like I'm gonna get like one of the zombies probably, but it has like 6 zombies expansion because my kids like that game.
Okay.
Like that's how I got.
I don't remember that game being very good.
It is not great,
but they like it.
They do. it's dice chucking, stand up dice rolling fun. I get why, but they like it. If I could turn some trash that like just sitting in my attic collecting dust, waiting to be sold at a estate sale when I die, into something I play with my kids, I'll take that. Take that all day.
Yep. It's good. Let me know how it goes.
Oh yeah, I'm hoping to shoot a video about it, like spotlighting the different tiers and the lists and whatnot.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I know Rado did his like geeklet or math trade
That was
tutorial a
forever
long time
ago.
ago.
Great video.
But I think nothing's been done since then, if I'm not mistaken. Like a newer kind of
Well,
updated version of it.
I'm gonna keep it short, just the basic premise of the math trade, and then like show the piles, and then immediately, here's what I got for that pile.
Right.
Just a
That's
quick
cool.
hitter of like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll do that. That's kind of interesting.
So the Scott Alm game, that Scott Alm's game that I'm excited about is called Peak Team. The Peak Team. It's like a Park Rangers game. And
Like
it's
the
very
theme.
good. What?
I like the theme. It's got Holmes.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's like a really nice co-op. It's super co-op. Like you think, I mean, co-ops are always hard because people can dictate. You can always have someone that's kind of like, you should do that. You cannot do that in this game. You can't do it.
That's always nice.
First of all, what you do at the beginning of your turn is you trade away all your cards. Like you have to give away every card that gets dealt to you, which is fantastic because you look at what other people are trying to do and you hand them the cards that you think they'll need. Which I hadn't seen that before. I think that's awesome. And then you play this kind of moving around the board, kind of trying to rescue animals and like collect all your goals. And I just played the very basic game, but there's like 5 levels of game, and it just keeps adding a layer. Like so, you have the base level where okay, I have to get my goals and my animals. Like that's the easiest part of it. We made it. We did that. Next level, you have to do like there's like hazards that you have to deal with. Okay, that's neat. And you have to deal with like I don't remember exactly what all the intricacies are, but you can imagine what it is, right? 5 different levels, like they just all layer together to start out with a very simple co-op. What's that?
Is this out now, or is this coming out?
I think it's coming out. Maybe Gen Con. I don't know. Have to look.
Is it AEG?
It's by Matago.
Oh,
maybe F1. It's really fun. Yeah, I was super excited about it when we played. I'm like, this feels really good. Sometimes you can tell, especially co-ops. And you feel like you accomplish something when you get to your goal. It's not easy. What else have I played? I played Innovation Deluxe, which is so great. You guys know Innovation?
Oh yeah.
Innovation's super fun. If you haven't played Innovation and you're a gamer, you have to play it. Call it Gamer Flux. Flux for gamers. It's a wild ride, but it's really fun. Lots of cool interactions in that game.
No, I remember playing it when it first came out.
Yeah, I think I remember the little tiny box it had. It was really fun. Yeah, I don't know if I ever played it. Like I backed it and then I never got it to the table. But like years later, I got it to the table. I'm like, why didn't I play this sooner? My gosh,
It's no glory to Rome, but
what is? But it's pretty great. It's so good. So many good pieces of game in that thing. What else did I play?
it's fun to say it's no glory to Rome because it's the game
Because
that
nothing
like
can be. Yeah.
yeah, because it's like it can't be remade, and if you don't own a copy, you never will. And
it's really a shame. Big shame.
why will there ever be another Glory to Rome?
just because the one guy who owns the rights to it will never give them up, and he said as much.
Oh.
And then the one time Carl Chuddick tried to make a game that was too much like it, he sued him.
Oh, really?
Or threatened to sue him or something like that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I forget exactly if you go back in time, and
That's a bummer.
And the fact that the other guy, that co-designer is a lawyer, it doesn't cost him any money really. It just costs him his own sweat equity to,
litigate.
you know. It's so silly, right? I mean,
So
imagine
sad.
now if like some company, if you get the rights to it, you know, you're like, okay, you know, it's like I'll make Lord of Rome, I'll get brand new art, I'll do brand new whatever. You know, we'll get Carl to maybe refine it or whatever, you know, just, you know, if there's
Yeah.
any kind of, after the, you know, millions of plays, if somebody said, oh, it would work better if you did this, you know, have Carl, you know, make minor changes to it or whatever. And it's because it's just a bunch of cards, right? Yeah, so it's just like, say you come up with some deluxe version of it, you know, you can, you know, put some like deluxe pieces in it or whatever, and then it'd be such an easy Kickstarter to make, and an easy game to manufacture. So easy to manufacture.
Even in America,
You could do it in America. It's so easy.
Yeah,
I know a guy who could tell you all about it.
yeah, no shit.
have you read the book?
But yeah, no, it's but yeah, it just, you know, got to be one turd out there who just, you know, he's just like, well, nope, because
Nope.
he
Well,
has no interest in doing anything with it.
it's his property.
Well, I mean, I can remember when I mean, this is not nearly in the same level as far as interest or whatever, but like when we were trying to get do Homesteader's second edition for TMG, like the designer just wouldn't answer repeated phone calls, emails, whatever. Like Seth had to finally just drive to the guy's house, and they're like, well, why aren't you responding? He's like, oh, I don't know, I just didn't want to bother with it. And it was like, you don't even have to do anything, man. You just have to sign the piece of paper and you can have some money. But he just wouldn't do anything with it. It was weird.
Did he sign a
That is
piece of
weird.
paper and get the money?
Oh yeah, eventually when Seth went to his house or whatever, if I remember correctly, then they would basically, yeah, he signed the piece of paper, you know, made it happen.
Either
Homestead
your
is-
name or your brain's going to be over this contract.
Homesteaders is a good little game. Has a great auction mechanism in it. Very frustrating game. I was never able to play it well. I was never able to do everything that I wanted in that one.
Oh, are you good at any games?
Not really. That one GMT racing game, I was really good at that.
I got that on my shelf. One of these days I want to play it. Heard it's fantastic.
It is. It is super great. I love playing the Cthulhu racing team, the black cars, because it was made by Richard Lanius. So I mean, it was just like, so it had a Cthulhu team. Yeah, no, the game where it's better to be in second place through most of the game. Yeah. Thunder Alley, was that it? Yeah, Thunder Alley.
I just found my old X-Files DVD collector's edition that I got super cheap on the internet. That's because they're from China and they're all in Chinese. It doesn't even come with discs like that are in, they just come with like little wrappers. Man. You ever buy bootleg stuff off the internet back in the day? I used to be big on that all the time. You get on eBay and find the stuff that was like half price.
So I remember one of the guys that was like a shift manager at US Bank who I was friends with. He was on all of these special pirate sites.
Oh yeah.
And so he had access to damn near anything. And he found this guy, and this is back when the Sega Dreamcast was a thing. Remember the Sega Dreamcast?
I have a Sega Dreamcast.
$99.99. Me too.
So I had a Sega Dreamcast as well.
I waited in
you know?
line for that thing.
So
First
my
time.
my Sega Dreamcast, he knew a guy or whatever that was basically like, I have all of the ripped CD-ROM images for every single Sega Dreamcast game in existence, like including special Japanese import games and things like that. And this guy, he basically was like, yeah, so he's basically, if you supplied him with the blank CD-ROMs, and it was like something like $2 a game or something like that. And I had a list. And so it was just basically like, so you could either have him buy the CD-ROMs, he said, but that was he charged you way too much. So I remember I went and I bought a package of like 100 CD-ROMs, which would at that point
Yeah.
cost me like, it was a chunk of cash. And then I sent that guy and I PayPal'd him his $200 and I picked my 100 games or whatever. And then like, I thought for sure I was going to get ripped off, but like, sure enough, like 2 weeks later, I got a package in the mail and it was like 100 Sega Dreamcast games. I had, of which I, maybe played 20 of them to any real amount of time. But that was like, that's pretty, what?
You had the option though. Oh, the choice.
Well, I had the option, yeah. I mean,
buddy of mine used to do that at Blockbuster. He got the unlimited rental pass, and he was on disability. He lived in this retirement community about 3 blocks away from a Blockbuster. He could check out 3 at a time, and he would go in and he would just burn movies. And he went through like a mania where he did it for like probably 3 or 4 straight weeks. And he eventually had probably about 500-600 DVDs burned before he canceled his Blockbuster account after like 3 or 4 months. It was ridiculous. Then he died and got thrown in the trash. And we laughed our ass off as we threw it in the trash and thought about it.
Why are you in an attic? Are you
What are you, fucking hop? Jesus Christ. I gotta go, Lance. I'll see you later.
what happened? What did I do wrong?
No, I'm just working in the attic. Just getting stuff.
I'm just wondering if like are you in somebody else's house right now? Is that like you're living there now?
TCB, Scott, taking care of business.
Oh, all right.
when I moved out of my apartment, when my then girlfriend, now wife, was pregnant with our first child, and I had worked at a video store. And then there was as one of I've told the story before, but we offered people, it's like, did you make a home movie of like whatever, and now you want to make a copy of it? Like, we have the ability to make copies of movies here, and we basically had the machine that you put the one in, put the other one in, and you could record. And then, of course, what we used it for was we recorded movies that we had. So we would have. All right, I hope you feel better, Scott.
Bye, everybody.
Hey, Scott.
Thanks, man.
So you're not feeling well.
Yeah, I got the con crud.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's bummer. Yeah. Talk to you guys later.
See you later.
I'll be in chat probably, just listening.
No.
Bye.
But yeah, I had hundreds of these tapes, VHS tapes of movies. And I remember when I moved, I was like, I don't want these. I didn't want to bring them. And so I just put them all in a box and I put them next to the dumpster at my apartment that I was moving out of. And I was like, somebody's gonna find these and be really happy.
Oh.
And they're just, or they're just gonna get thrown away. But they're not my problem anymore. So I moved on with my life. There's that moment of sadness when you get rid of a bunch of stuff. It lasts for just a little bit, and then you realize that, like, oh, I don't ever have to worry about that stuff again.
Liberating.
I downsized from 800 board games to about 100. Now, that said, quite a few of them are actually still in a storage unit, but they're not here, and I can't get to them easily. right? And I thought for sure that it was going to be really hard and I'd get to like 200. And then, and the reality is I got rid of more than I wanted, than I originally thought I would or thought I would want to. It was very like soul cleansing. So, and there are some pretty amazing games that are sitting in my storage unit that still that like, oh yeah, I was there today. Oh yeah, I gotta sell that or give it away. Europa Universalis, for example,
Yeah.
Kickstarter edition.
I always have this feeling of like, oh, I'll do this with that game. Like I have like all of that game hate or whatever, and I always say to myself, I'm gonna paint those minis one day. I'm like, I'm never gonna paint those minis.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. I'm never
That's
gonna
one.
paint
That's
those.
what. That's one where like one of their taglines was like, "Kill your enemies, eat them, and shit them out." Right?
Yeah. I mean, but I mean, when I got it, I bought it for the minis. I mean, because it was ridiculous. It was like, oh yeah, it's like 500 miniatures, and they're all like grim dark fantasy, So it's like, oh, these will be perfect for D&D. And I was just like, and it was and it was like the all in was $99. That was back in that weird heyday of uh of Cool Mini or Not, where it was just like
Yep.
nobody understood how they were able to do it. Like, oh yeah, here have 8,000 minis and seven boxes of stuff for $99, and you're just like, sure, cool. How can you do this? What's going on here? But
The rest of the industry is still having to deal with that bullshit because they're like, this price doesn't seem reasonable, and that's because we compare it to CMON.
Yeah. No doubt about it. I love when fans of board games who have never actually created a game or understand the production process. This is all even pre-tariff. Well, there's this one game that I encountered once that provides, slightly or way more content at less than this price. I'll go buy that game then. I don't want to talk about it.
no.
Just don't. Just move along. We can't move along now anymore though. It's like you got to have outrage about everything. Anyway,
Oh, I found cool pictures of myself. Fun.
I just love the fact that every week I get to see you do like housework or whatever it is.
I can't just do stuff. I gotta do something.
I'm watching the Avalanche game on delay, so look at that.
Look at that guy.
Wow.
Wait, which one is you?
I didn't want to be the first to ask that question.
Well, it's not a woman. That's my dad. No, that's me. Big old fatty. Oh, there's a 20-year-old, and then there's me with my wife. Ooh, man,
Right.
she's hot.
Never say that line with a past tense. Just a
And she's
suggestion.
still,
There we go.
Man, my wife's hot.
Man, my wife's hot. I'm a lucky man.
What's that?
Right? You say, man, my wife's hot. I'm a lucky man. That's what
I
you
am
say.
a lucky man. I think
Yeah.
my wife was
Yep.
definitely sitting on my wife because of her looks and not her personality when I first met her. Not
Yeah,
to say she
right.
didn't have a great personality, but I didn't know about it. I was the looks.
I'm with you.
Keep digging
Man,
that
I
hole.
Yeah, well, luckily my wife doesn't.
No, just who did this? I forget the person who did the stand up, where he said, it's like, he said, my wife will always, your wife will always say something else like, it's like, about comparing herself to what she look like. I look, and it's just like whenever my wife says anything, it's like, I don't like the way I look anymore. And then the answer I always give is, you're as beautiful as the day that I married you. And it's just like, and then, it's like, that's your go-to, gentleman. But it's like, but it's just like in those police movies where you see where they go, let's just go over it one more
One more
time.
time.
You now when you gotta you said you went to a where were you? I went to a ball game. He's like, wait a minute, you said you went to the movies. I went to a movie about a ball game. And then they got you. You know, and then my wife just said, let's go to a room with that. Just like, oh, you know, it's just like I feel like I look heavier. It's like I said, well, we could all lose a little weight in the new year. I had the right to remain silent, but I chose not to. Oh,
I like
can't
that. Have you guys seen that comedian? I forget. It's an old bit, but he's saying I forget what his context is, but something about the problem with women or something like that. And he says Adam and Eve are sitting in the Garden of Eden, and Adam says, "Isn't this amazing, Eve? We can, we're never gonna die. We have all the food we could ever want. The instant we have something in our imagination, it becomes physical reality for us. Life is perfect." And Eve looks at Adam and says, "Yeah, it's just not enough, though, is it?" Or something like that.
Yeah, cartoon like that.
Yeah, it's just not enough, though, is it? Like, what?
Yeah.
Anyway.
You what is that the book that sold 8 billion copies of it?
The Bible.
Men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Oh,
or
yes.
whatever.
Yes. What's the flash on your? Are you watching like a video at the same time?
Nah, there's this dumb video game that like I have on that's just basically playing itself in the
What's it
background. Node Buster. It is as dumb as you think it is. It just
Oh, I see. Right.
yeah, I mean it is. And basically, you know, if you get to a certain point, your avatar in the game can't be killed anymore. So but you gain experience points if it's just running. So it's just running. So I can gain my experience. So I can unlock different things. I don't have to actively like, and I've told this story before too, but it reminds me of I remember I played. I don't remember what the Nintendo game was, but there was this thing where I was playing it, and I noticed that like it was a thing where your little character, and then it would swing its sword, and it would just like choo 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 choo. This little sword would like stick out of the character like straight ahead whenever you hit the button. I mean, you
I
could hold
remember
it,
this.
and you could hold it down, and it would just continue to do it. And then I noticed that I got to this one spot in the very first level, the very first thing in the game. I remember I rented it from like a place to play. Remember you rented games, you took them home and played them.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So there was this spot where a monster spawned off the screen, and it would walk forward and get hit with the sword and take like a little tick of damage, and it would walk away, and then it would come back, and it would get killed, and it would die, and you'd get like 3 experience points. And then and it was like, and I was like, huh. I just had I stopped my character right there, but the way it moved, it just moved like this. So it never actually like would reach you. But you could just sit there and stab with your sword straight forward. And I looked at it and I was like, that's weird. And so the next day before I went to school, I pushed the button down and taped it down, and then just left. And then when I came home from school, my character was like level 99, and I was able to just run through the rest of the game, you know, because I had 8,000 health and nothing could hurt me anymore. And
That's funny.
yeah, it was just it was ridiculous. What else is weird that's going on in the world? I posted this thing, so I mean, I eventually figured it out, and I was very happy with myself. But I have this old HP printer scanner.
Yep.
And I posted this on Facebook, and of course, everybody popped in to try to tell me how they would have fixed the problem, and like, you know, but you weren't there when I was trying to do this. My my kid who's going to college next year needed these 2 forms scanned.
Oh, I saw this post.
Yeah. So long story short, it was like, so I couldn't get the scanner to work, and it said, "Oh, you need to install the scanner software onto the computer, so it can send the image to the computer." And then it'll create the file, and then I can just save the file on my computer. Well, I don't have that CD anymore, and
No.
I don't even have a CD.
David Lance?
I don't even have a CD-ROM anymore. You know, I mean, like, computers just
Right.
don't have them anymore. You can install one for sure, but
Right.
people just don't have them anymore.
No.
And so I was like, I was sitting there trying to find answers, and then there was one answer they suggested, and it didn't work. Like, you actually log into the IP address of the printer
Yep.
through the Wi-Fi, and then force it to do it, but it didn't work because it didn't have the right drivers and all this stuff. And of course, it didn't. The printer scanner is so old, it isn't supported by HP anymore.
Yep.
But in some printer archive site, which I found, after Googling it and everything like that, I was able to get the CD rip of the installation, and then I was able to get a CD rip emulator that basically made my computer think that it had a CD-ROM, and then I was able to then take that CD-ROM rip and then put it into the fake CD-ROM emulator to make my computer think that it was running that, and then install it. And it was like, you need to have Windows Vista of this for this to work. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Chances that this works, 0. But I'll be dadgummed. It
I'll
did
be
work.
dadgummed.
I'll be dadgummed. The damn thing worked, and I was able to scan the thing. And then of course I posted it, and it was like, well, you could have used this program on your phone. And it was like, you know what? I was just proud of the fact that I was able to Google all that and figure it out. So
That's a pretty good job for your age.
yeah, it was just like, I was super frustrated, and I figured it out. And it was like, well, you could have just used this program, or you could have just used this, or the Android. Hey, can you just say cool? That's all you have to say is cool.
That's right. No, exactly. The
felt
circle
like
back
there
to what
was
yeah, go ahead.
There was an army of kabuki kids stepping in, pushing Lance, you could have just downloaded this really cool app that would have automatically done this. So, so just so you know, for future reference, for all those scanning options that you'll be needing in the future.
I love the fact that Kabuki had typed some things you could have done in the chat.
Yeah.
And then you said what you said, and then it's F you, Lance.
Well, yeah, because go to my thing. If you're friends with me on Facebook, you can see there's all these people go, well, you could have done this, you could have done this. Well, you know what? I mean, I guess I'll keep you on speed dial from now on. 2:00 in the
Yes.
morning, I'll call you up. Hey, I couldn't get this thing to work. Who is this? No, you were super helpful, telling me how I should have done something a while back, and so now I just figured you're my go-to.
That's right. I appreciate your consulting services.
Yes.
Are you guys scaling? You're going to Origins, right, Lance, or no?
Yeah, I'm going to Origins. You going to Origins?
No.
Oh, well, that's great. It was good. I wasn't looking forward to seeing you or anything.
I'll see you there, Lance.
Yeah.
I will be in Europe for work. I will be in Dublin, Ireland, and Basel, Switzerland, as well as London, probably Germany, and probably Madrid.
Hey, are you going to be at this place? No, I'm going to be in Europe. Sorry. I love
Forrest, we got to figure out where we ate that really good pizza when we went out and ate on the Tasty Mitchell Games dime that one time and had beers.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was a good time. I forget that was good food too. It was
super good. How much is a glass of water? They got paid $3 for a glass of water.
So just out of curiosity, are you guys scaling back on any of these cons or anything like that, or are you?
Well, we're not we don't go to a ton of cons. I mean, as it is, we're going to 3 this year.
Origins, Gen Con, and
BGG Con.
That's kind of what I figured. I've never been to BGG Con. I gotta go.
You should go, dude. You should go.
That
You
way
can
I can
still,
leverage you again, my relationship with you, to get into places that I don't belong.
yeah, sure, but you should definitely go. And then,
Yeah, sure.
I think you just,
Yeah,
I think,
sure.
and honestly, man, if you wanted to have a booth, it's like the cheapest place in the world to have a booth. It's like $800 for a 10x10,
Right.
and and they'll even and like you can freight in your pallet, and for like $200, Aldi will bring it to your booth.
All the
It's like
tepid lemonade you can drink.
oh, and yeah, there you get
All the
access to
tepid
the
lemonade.
lounge.
Hey, but here's the deal, right? So Dragons Down, we have, call it 100 copies left in total. And, doesn't look likely that we're going to have more product in anytime soon. So the idea of bringing in a pallet of products is probably not high on the list at this time.
Well, didn't you read what that turd said about like how he knew that all you got to do is just change your whatever to whatever, and you can get your. Did you see that fucking turd post all that bullshit on his like website or whatever? And it was
Um,
just,
yeah,
and
I did,
everybody basically said you're full of shit.
which is true. He is full of
Yeah.
shit. I just, when Stegmeyer posted that, he was joining that lawsuit, which I have also joined, by the way. But when he said he was joining that lawsuit, I read through the comments on his Facebook post about it. Did you read any of those comments? Like one, I bet you 5 or 10 comments in. Some guy, well, you have lost me as a customer. What, for trying to save my company? Okay. And then, of course,
Yeah.
immediately afterwards were people replying saying, and you've gained me. And you've gained me. So craziness.
Yeah, no. I mean, what a turd.
Yeah.
Nobody else has figured this out, but I have. I
I
figured
have.
it out.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me put my genius cap on here, and
You
I'll
should,
show
like,
you.
it's not mine to share, but you should drop a note to Sean. He actually has figured something out that can help. So I'm sure it's a solution that other people have explored and or found, but he actually has something. So that's meaningful. Again, not mine to share, so I'll leave it at that. But Sean well enough to reach out to him. Are you just like holding the button down? Or are you taping it down so that you can stab something walking back and forth
No,
right
no,
now?
no. It just does
the-
it on its own.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
yeah.
I'm glad that was an inspiring story that I just told, and
No,
just
no, you're fine. You're fine. I decided actually, like, I forgot about what this guy's name was, so I went to go look it up, and yeah, this guy's just a
I don't know
turd.
that I saw it, but I've seen other posts like it. That, I stand by my earlier comments, which is the self-centered, responses of, well, I just won't buy games for a few months. Oh well. I'm like, what a very myopic view of the world.
Well, I also love that, like, as somebody who's got one board game to their to their publishing knowledge. Well, I figured it out.
Right.
I did.
Is that what it is? That's the
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, I mean, it's that holier than thou fucking bullshit. It's just like, well, let me just come down from, come, let me just come down, and I'll share my knowledge with the sheep that are down there.
right.
Just thank goodness I was here. Um, yeah. But yeah, no. And then now he posted something um some bullshit, and ripped on Mike Millsek, who's like one of the nicest guy.
So did you find it? If so, send it my way.
Yeah. But whatever.
So what exactly are you doing in the attic?
Oh, cleaning, organizing, getting games for the Board Game Geek Math Trade. This little that.
I don't see a single. Well, I guess I see Yahtzee.
Oh, that's because I took most of it down, and it's yeah, most of it's already in in my gaming room.
Got it. Okay. You're not going to like fall through the roof here quickly, soon, are you? Fall through the ceiling,
I hope not. I mean,
like misstep or something.
it could happen. I worry about it. We got dry rot, you know.
So, yeah, well, now the big theory is that the tariffs are gonna just go away one day. We'll wake up and they'll just be gone. Supposedly.
The phrase I have posted in like my Discord chat for Dragons Down is something along the lines of, one day I'll have a good shit, and then that'll be like, oh, I'm lowering tariffs. I had a good dump, or whatever. Whatever motivates them, God knows. So, are you playing hide and seek now? Is that what's going on? See, oh, there he is. I see him. There he is. You're right, Nathaniel. Like that. That's my point exactly. Is there's such a myopic view by most. These are all, and I'm going to be a little negative here, but like these are all people who have never created a game in their life, have no concept of the magnitude of effort it takes, not just to design a game, have an idea, but then to make it good, and then to do all the artwork and everything else, ship it, get it made in China, and all the work that is, to physically have it shipped over, to have some idiot on Facebook go, well, I just play the games I have. It's just so dismissive.
Yeah.
Anyway. So.
Well, and that's like the thing that's like the insanity is that you have this oh, I want this I want this industry to thrive, but I'm not going to buy any more games. I'm not going to do anything to support them.
Exactly.
Like, it's great.
Exactly. And but even there, like when you post that, here's the impact it's having on me, as opposed to there are people losing their businesses, there are people losing their jobs over an arbitrary tax, right? Implemented by a person who doesn't even have the authority to do it. That's kind of where my issue is hey, just it's called empathy. Find some, right? Believe it or not, the world's not about you. Right? So anyway.
Yeah.
I know where I'm preaching to the choir here, but because you guys get it.
But preaching to the choir is fun.
Preaching to the choir. Yes.
Yeah, at least then they'll agree with you.
That's a funny comment, Nathaniel, right? Which, by the way, I was raised on Avalon Hill, and my favorite game of all time is an Avalon Hill game, Magic Realm. But yeah, I laugh. It's got the perforated cards. Maybe we'll go back to that. I should put it into a Kickstarter for perforated cards. What do you think?
I think there's a market for it. Don't rip them too quickly, or you
right?
would. Yeah, I remember that. Like, just sitting there like,
oh my God. Like, people don't understand the stress of punching a 1980s game, right? Oh yeah. I could tell you stories, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay, Grandpa.
I know.
Why won't you listen to me?
I'm
in my day.
We used to punch games uphill both directions.
Yeah. You wouldn't know what to do with yourself if you had to do it our way, just
whatever. Right. We used to play games without rules.
Yeah.
We used to like, I think of like Squad Leader, which probably had more die rolls than any game I've ever played. And literally their logic was if you roll a whole bunch of dice or whatever during the course of the game, your luck will average out. So they saw that as not like, oh, we have a lot of luck in the game. They saw, well, it'll average out because you're rolling the dice for everything you do, right? And
Yeah.
the thing that I chuckle about is, and then they would provide you like 2 dice, two
Yeah.
shitty little dice. I'm sorry, I need 100 dice in this game or whatever, Anyway,
Well, and it was one of those things where they would I think they had this mentality of the fact that you didn't need it, right? Because you had tons of other games and tons of other dice, right? So you had plenty of dice to
what was that
do
cheap ass
whatever.
games that used to do that, right? They wouldn't even provide dice. You already got dice. Why am I giving you dice?
Yeah, you have dice. Cheap
don't need
ass
dice.
games.
Right? Cheap ass games. That's what it was.
And none
right?
of them were good.
Yeah, what a surprise.
None of those games were fun.
Are they the people
Not-
who had
Kill
the
Dr. Lucky is pretty good.
what's that?
Kill Dr. Lucky is pretty good.
Did they are they the guys who published the game we didn't play test this at all?
No, that was
No, their game is Kobolds Ate My Baby, I think was one of theirs. One of their
Yeah.
games.
If only there was a website that logged games.
Yeah.
Board game publisher, cheap ass games. Is a small company, so it's still in business. No, wait, yep.
that they got bought out by Greater Than.
Did they really? For
I
real?
thought so. Or maybe they just bought a bunch of the titles. I could have swore that happened.
Oh yeah, it is Greater Than Games. You're
Yeah,
right,
it's
Greater Than Games.
Really, like some games last year at Gen Con, I was like, who the fuck greenlit these games? Like, man, I want to go back through, and you'll see them if you go through their last few years of releasing, and you're like, what the hell are these games? They did like 3 in the same universe that were so weird, and the games didn't feel like they were well made, and it was a really odd choice. I remember 2 of them were like at Gen Con, and me and my buddy Adam were in the press room, and we're like, what the hell are these games? They just look off. I don't want to look
I have to branch out at Gen Con. I go and I'm in the main hall at the booth most of the time, and then like this year I'll be running Dragons Down or a lot of Dragons Down there. But I don't I don't go to any of the press rooms. I don't go to any of the breakouts. I don't do any of that. I just kind of hang out.
Well, you can't go to the press room. I mean,
I'm going to the press room, baby. I'm going.
They'll ask you to leave politely
That's
if they
right.
go to,
Right.
but I'll stay here with me. It'll be cool.
Okay. All right. I'll find you. I'll track you down.
Now we're gonna be living in this year. I think that's me and Adam's plan this year is to live in the Gen Con press room and like make some gameplay videos on some of the newest stuff.
You mean like I won't make the joke. Like Dragons Down.
Oh yeah.
So-
We'll get together. We'll see if we can't shoot some. Like
That'd be great. Actually, I would love to do that. So Cheap Ass Games made Kill Dr. Lucky. That was a pretty good game.
yeah, that's what I was saying. I like that one.
I don't know most of these other ones, but anyway.
Yeah.
Who's another kind of obscure publisher that would be worth looking at? That exciting, huh?
But I'm saying if there's like a publisher.
I'm not even convinced that Lance is actually even here. That might just be like the equivalent of tape across a button on a controller.
It might be.
He's phoning it in tonight.
Well, no, I really want to. I wish like I wanted Evan to like show up so we could at least have 3-player. 3-player. I'm trying to. I'm
Yeah.
poking Evan to get him to show up so
You should poke him.
Poking.
I think I mentioned this game before, but there is a company called Pleasant Company Games that has a game called Snowblind. It's not very highly rated. It's a 6.8. It is an absolute blast to play. It's a total push your luck game. And I do, dare I say, highly recommend this game. It's like basically racing to the South Pole. But it's one of those where, you have like these polar explorers and supplies and whatnot, and you have to push your luck to win. But inevitably, that doesn't work out very well for one of the players, and so you leave your guys stranded and they die in Antarctica. Really a fun game. It's rated at 6.8 is all, but it is so much better than that. I mean, you have to be okay with like laughing at your own misery. That's the key, right? Anyway, again, and things I'm just throwing out here tonight are just being received with just such, applause.
Hold on, I got to go upstairs and check on something real quick, and then
I don't
I'll
even
be right
think.
down.
All right, sounds good.
No, I'll come down. I just want to share something with you that I just researched, and I want to share it with all.
Hey, Lance! I didn't know you were on this podcast.
Yeah,
Oh,
no
shut your
shit,
mouth.
kidding. Right? Good
Hey,
to have you here with us tonight.
Why are you putting a belt on?
Hopefully he's putting it on, not taking it off. That's all I got to say.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay.
So, what are you doing over in Europe for your company?
So I'm 43 days into the job, 43 work days in. I have a couple of employees, or 3 over in Europe, and so we're doing some basically some marketing events, and I also want to hang out with them. So I'll be over there for 2 weeks.
Hey,
So
it's
it's gonna be
awesome.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
My job before, so this is a global role. As a matter of fact, the reason I was late to the call is because I was on the phone with an employee of mine in Kuala Lumpur. So
Hey, the KL.
yeah. So I'll be going over there too. I used to go to Singapore and then Europe, or at least Asia and Europe, every 3 months in a previous role for about 6 years. It was so cool. I loved it.
Sounds awesome.
Right? It
What's
was.
your favorite airport to fly through?
Say that again.
Favorite airport to fly through?
I would when I flew out to Singapore, it was 24 hours of travel total and I'd fly through Narita in Tokyo. So that part wasn't very fun. Yeah, and it wasn't 24 hours, but it was like a solid, 18 to 20 hours.
Yeah.
Flying to Europe was normally through either Toronto or, like a New Jersey or a New York. That wasn't necessarily fun either. But once you get there, it was awesome. Like I was in Germany when they won the World Cup.
Oh, nice.
Right?
That's awesome.
Yeah. Singapore still stands out as being one of the most unique places. Like, first off, I could tape all the money I own in the entire world on the outside of my body and walk down the street, and I probably wouldn't be molested, right? Nobody would hassle me. I saw a guy in a food court reserve a table by leaving his wallet on the table. True story. It's the term benevolent dictatorship, right? It's a dictatorship, but a benevolent one. And but you can get in trouble for things that you go, really? Or like where due process, although now of course our due process is all effed up, but due process is interesting. Like, for example, there was like a Singaporean driver of a bus, and there were these workers who were doing construction jobs, and a Hindu guy was drunk, got off the bus, fell in front of the bus, and got killed. And so then the laborers who came from a similar background were, just rioted, and they broke things and, started some fires and stuff like that. And within like 2 or 3 days, 500 people had been arrested or something, some large, 200 people had been arrested. And then like a week after that, they announced that, hey, we've deported, 22 people. We've sentenced, 5 people to jail terms from 1 to 5 years. and everybody else has been cleared. Problem solved. You're like, huh? It's like 2 weeks probably. Or don't smuggle drugs into the country. My very first trip over there, my very first trip ever to Singapore, a guy got the death penalty for smuggling, trying to was smuggling some small amount of drugs into the country, and got the death penalty, mandatory.
Wow.
And the way they do the death penalty is pretty wild too. They don't like here, it's like you have all these appeals and it's just 12-year process. The way they do it there is all of those appeals are handled automatically, and just one day they show up in your cell, they wake you up at night and go, it's time, and then they take you out and you're put to death. I don't know about you. I don't know if I'd sleep that well.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I don't plan on ending up in a Singapore prison anytime soon.
Right. Agreed. Nathaniel, does anyone miss the days this stream would go till 5 a.m.? There's a new generation of people who are on this stream like me who couldn't last till 5 a.m. if they tried.
There's a lot more West Coasters back then.
Is that what it was? Probably so. Am I the furthest west here, being in Denver?
I think Evans and.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. But Kabuki, the reason it would, and Nathaniel, the reason it would go long is because Lance would get on a monologue and he talks slow anyway. And so by the time, I love the fact that I can say this, and I doubt he'll go back and watch the stream. So just, the concept of, he'd monologue about something, I could easily see that going until 5 a.m. I kind of stand by that comment. Then when Lance comes back, I'll deny it. But
there's no way he's gonna come back and watch that. 0% chance.
0% chance. I'm just wondering if somebody rats me out in the chat.
Oh.
Hey Lance, go look at the 2-hour 5-minute mark. So hey guys in the chat, what do you guys do while you're here with us on this stream? Just out of curiosity, because I'm guessing you're not fully focused, looking at the screen, looking at me with my anime dragons down image. Work. All right.
In the same game Lance is.
Right. I love the fact that he goes, I'm just earning points because it just auto plays. Yep, but why? Anyway. Hey Lance.
So that turd of a human being.
Yep.
That tried to say, if you just do things right, you'll still only just pay 20% tariffs, not 145. He and Jeffrey Engelstein got into a pissing match with each other.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Online. So here, this is publicly stated. So I'll just say this. It's like where basically both of them kind of went back and forth, and Jeff just said, I've owned a business and I have imported products from China for 35 years.
This is Engelstein talking right now?
Yeah, Engelstein. I feel like I know what I'm talking about, but I also pay import specialists full time on my payroll. I also have customs brokers and attorneys, and I asked them all to review this. They said this is 100% absolutely wrong. And then so he goes I appreciate you weighing in. It's like, just to clarify the steps I outlined, requesting a binding ruling, working closely with the licensed customs brokers, and using 180-day protest when are all directly sourced from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection's own procedures. Those aren't theories or personal speculation. They're the very tools So on and so forth. If your import team and legal counsel believe these steps are invalid, I'd be sincerely interested in seeing what alternative processes they recommend instead. But as it stands, every one of those protections is public record, so on and so forth.
Blah 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 blah.
Yeah. He said, you start by saying the tariffs on board games when filed correctly are 20%. This is categorically wrong.
Yes.
Yes, if you think that an incorrect HTS code has been applied or there's some other issue, you can appeal as you've indicated. But by opening up with your wrong statement, you're implying that if you appeal, you get the tariff scrolled back to 20%. That is misleading at best. If what you're trying to say is that if you appeal, you may get a ruling that the Section 99 tariffs, the additional 125% for China, are not valid, you won't get that from CPB. No way they overrule the president. There is a reasonable case the authority was exceeded by Section 99, and convincing a court of that is the point of the class action lawsuit that Stonemeyer joined the lawsuit that Stonemeyer started that you have derided. You made several bold claims here, so let's walk through them one at a time. The tariffs on board games when filed correctly are 20%. This is category wrong. If that's the case, where's the proof? Because HTS code, blah, 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 which is the standard class currently carries, 0%, manufacturing, yes, he goes on and on. You're implying that you appeal to get tariff back to it. That is misleading. What's misleading is suggesting this is about getting it back to something. If the correct code was used to begin with, it should be 20%.
Where is this posted? Where's this posted?
Go to Dwight's personal page, and you can see it. He kind of goes on and on.
To whose?
And then this Dwight Cenac guy, the guy that published that High Noon game. It's like, this notice from the government explains that there are two codes applied now, HTS and Section 99. That's what Jeff said. HTS is currently 20%. You are correct on that. Section 99 is 125%. It was 34% when the notice I linked to was posted, which is your initial 54% figure people quoted comes from. Section 99 only applies to HTS codes explicitly listed under it. 9504.90.6000 isn't one of them. What is exactly your point? You're misreading. There's a list of codes that are excluded, not what's covered. Currently, it's very short. Syringes, iPhones, and some other electronic products, and a few other things. Not games. Then he says, I'll tell you what. Since you're so confident, I have a $10,000 shipment of games I've been holding in China since I don't want to pay $15,000 in tariffs. According to your math, it should only be $2,000 in tariffs. I will pay you $4,000 for you to handle the importation paperwork and pay the tariff. This could be the easiest $2,000 you'll ever make. I'm serious. Do you want to do it? He responds, Jeffrey, if you're serious, I'm open to helping, but let's be clear up front. I'm not a licensed customs broker or attorney, so I can't represent you before a CBP or file anything on your behalf. You'd be paying me as a consultant based on my research and experience navigating this same issue. Yeah. If you're cool with that and you're willing to follow my advice to the letter, I'll walk you through everything, classification, documentation, and how to structure the filing properly. And if you get your shipment through with a 20% with no 125% tariff applied, then I'll take the $4,000. This will be the easiest money you've ever spent. If not, no harm done, but let's not mistake a legal process for a bet. So somebody goes, oh, the guy responded, so let me get this straight. You're saying, I'll do it if it works, but if it doesn't, I bear no responsibility and you can pay for it all yourself. He's like, that doesn't sound like you have a lot of confidence in your facts. So then Jeff says, okay, Dwight, I'm serious. And I'm glad we're getting somewhere. But you need to have skin in this game and willing to back up your method. Otherwise, then what are we even doing here? So here's the deal. I'll set up an escrow account to pay the tariff. You will pay in $11,000, and I will pay $4,000. I will get my experienced, licensed customs brokers and lawyers to complete the paperwork exactly as you direct, and we'll bring the games in. The tariff, which I say will be $15,000, and you say will be $2,000, will be paid out of that escrow account. After the tariff is paid, you get whatever remains. If it says you claim, you'll get $13,000 back, and you will be known as the savior of the board game industry.
That's the best part of the whole thing.
If not, then we've all learned a value lesson. By the way, I had to air in a non-game shipment for a customer for replacement parts for some defects last week, and the tariff, which normally should have been a few $1,000s, just came in at 30 grand.
Oh,
And I can't pass on the tariff to the customers since these are replacements. And I couldn't not ship because we stand behind our products. So yes, these additional 125% tariffs are real. Dwight, you say you don't want to make a bet. Well, almost all business is a bet. Will this product sell? Do I order 1,000 games or do I order 5,000? What will the economy look like in 6 months? If I give this customer a discount now, will I be able to make it up with long-term businesses? Will this new equipment increase my productivity enough to make it worthwhile? I can go on and on.
I like
Let's
Thomas
just
Covert's
hold on. He's like,
post.
let me see if you're willing to back this up. He goes, Dwight says, I apologize. I misread your offer. Now having read it. With 35 years in international trade, you should already know I can't legally act as your customs broker, importer of record, or legal representative without the proper licenses. That alone makes you offer a non-starter. And frankly, I'm starting to question whether you actually believe what you're saying or if you're just throwing bait. He's just backpedaling. He's like, you've made it clear you believe you're sitting on a $10,000 shipment that'll cost $15,000 to get the country. That's your math. Cool. So here's mine. If this is a board game and you own it and the game doesn't suck, I'll pay you $4,000 cash right now for the entire shipment and full IP rights forever. What? You get out from what you've already framed as a loss, and you still walk away with something. And then I take on the shipping, the paperwork, and the supposed guaranteed 145% tariff that's scaring you into paralysis.
what?
Also, let's not pretend this exchange is happening in a vacuum.
Read that sentence again.
He tried to buy his games and his IP. What the fuck?
You get out from whatever you framed as a loss, you still walk away with something, and I take on the shipping, the paperwork, and the supposed guaranteed 145% tariff that's scaring you into paralysis. Also, let's not pretend this exchange is happening in a vacuum. You're not just some guy. You're a published educator, an industry speaker, and a known figure in this space. If this conversation were ever taken out of context with your name, credentials, and the implications of what you just proposed, it wouldn't look great. I'm not interested in going there, but I am reminding you of just how visible this thread really is. You've painted yourself into a corner. I'm offering you a door. Take the deal or stop pretending this is ever about facts. Also, stop pretending you're 35 years and thinking of board games is the same as 35 years in the international trade.
Oh, goodness.
And then he says, oh, and by the way, you're categorically wrong here, too. You claim the lawsuit Stonemeyer joined is about Section 99 overreach. It's not. He just kind of goes on and on.
Yeah.
And then so you are nothing but just full of hot air. He's like, then Jeff says, I'm not asking you to act as a broker. We'll follow all the paperwork. You just need to let us know how to complete it or approve what we do. He's just, yeah, and then he just won't respond. He's just like, man,
Well, that's a long way.
Yeah, no, the guy's a turd. He's just a turd.
He really is. He looks like a turd.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Just a typical Trump apologist.
Yeah.
He was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, and that's pretty nice. Pretty nice.
I hope that he's got a photo of Rudy Giuliani as his mugshot. I hope Rudy sues them for wrongful prosecution and wins. This is an illegal act against the First Amendment, an overreach of power, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, good Lord.
Then he's like, somebody said, you're full of shit, basically. And he's like, no, I don't have the licenses to be a customs broker. And he's like, then this guy Cameron goes, well, I'm glad you can Google things. I Googled something too. It's like, he goes, I can't possibly do this for Jeff because I need to have a customs broker license. Well, this comes straight from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection website. There is no legal requirement for you to have a license as a customs broker to process these orders. However, you can opt to do so for convenience. Just like they will take on the burden of filing paperwork, but you do not need to have one. Just like, meh. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He's like, he's
The inner-
just-
What a glorious place.
What a glorious
and then
place.
he reduced himself. There was some guy named Hong Jeong who was in there who was Korean. He was trying to talk to him, and he goes, "If you're paying someone else to do what code's using, they're not licensed. They're not. That's not filling out a form. That's a federal offense. But thanks for playing ping pong." He called the
Oh
guy
my
ping
God.
pong. Yes, just so you're like, oh, you're racist too. It's like I can't say I'm shocked.
Ugh.
Just
Goodness gracious.
yeah, what a stain. What a what a stain on just what a horrible human being. Oh,
Agreed.
I am many I have had many years ago after seeing my a friend of mine get his head cracked open on the pavement after like having too many beers and picking a fight that he shouldn't have. I told myself just walk away,
Yep.
from like and like take the path of being a pacifist and just walk away. Be happy the fact that I look like I might kill somebody because I've been told it's like you're an intimidating looking guy. I'm like I've never considered that. I mean, I'll take it and just that'll get me out of a lot of problems. Just like theoretically people wouldn't want to mess with me or whatever. Um, when I have like seen and dealt with people, I have had horrible, violent fantasies of what I would love if you just like, just admit it. Just like,
No doubt.
and I'm not proud. I'm not proud of that at all. Yeah, I yeah, no, I just I people suck and
People suck. Pretty
yeah.
true.
Thomas Covert popped
kind
in
of-
there
you should
to
look
tell
at
the
the-
guy he was a piece of shit too. So
You should look at the comments on High Noon. They're actually kind of funny.
like the ratings of the game.
Well, no, it's not even the ratings, the comments. Like the ratings, whatever. The ratings don't matter. Decided to back it on their last crowdfunding and really have been disappointed so far with the communication since our money's been collected. Creator Dwight is full of excuses instead of just telling people what's going on, making me worried for my investment, and the attitude leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I won't crowdfund this creator again. That was
Yeah.
posted a couple months ago. Anyway. The ratings are such a hot mess anyway. There's people do it for social reasons, personal reasons. Anyway, it is what it is.
God, what a fucking who is just comfortable with like calling just being a racist publicly like that.
Right.
I don't understand.
Would you like me to really answer that? People who support this president.
Well, yeah, I
That's the real answer.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they're on both sides, but yeah. And there's plenty of.
I mean, he's just empowered. I agree. There's plenty of racists on both sides. He's just empowered it. So let me direct this back to actual board game topics for a moment. Jeff Engelstein games. What have you guys played many?
what else? Jeff Engelstein?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
he's
play lots of them. We published one of his when I was at TMG.
Which one's that?
Do
you know?
Well, I can't remember the name of it now. I can picture the board.
Dragon and Flagon.
What?
The Dragon and Flagon.
It's the trading in the Mediterranean game.
Yeah, the trading in the Mediterranean game. Yeah, where basically everything was open negotiation.
Oh, Trade on the Tigris.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, it's such a good game with the high player counts. Oh, that's such a good trading game.
Oh, really?
So
2018. I don't know that one. There's he has a game that's coming up. I think it's in the GMT 5P500 or whatever that I really am excited about called Triumvir. I don't think it's out yet, as I recall, but I have two of his games that are for me really really pretty. Well, Triumvir is the one I'm really excited about, but he has a game that's so underrated called Fog of War. Have you guys ever played that?
mm-mm.
It is one of the most. It's a World War II game. You refight World War II in Europe. It is one of the most unique game because there's no pieces on the board, right? Everything are playing cards, and it has this incredible, fog of war aspect to it, right? You can spy on what actions a player is taking and where they might be attacking, and it's all done with face down cards, and you can get some information but not all information. It's just really, it's so interesting, so cool. I reached out to him about it, telling him how awesome it is. So anyway,
I would
That
stop being friends with this guy, Forrest. I would not be on his friends list in the old Facebook.
Yeah, I enjoy seeing stuff like that, though. Honestly, so I'll take.
Well, he isn't making any of it like invisible to just friend or only visible to friends. I mean, is
Here's what I'll say to that. I accept like 3 or 4 a day, and I don't vet any of them. It's just like, oh, 24, 24, sure. 18, nice. 7, fine. Like the number of mutual friends. Plus, I honestly enjoy the shit show, as you know. So
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, no, God, I just one of those things where, just well, you know, I pacifist. Just like you just
It's for your mental health is really the reason. You know.
um
So,
I watched a very good video about um like how to deal with people when they say stuff that is like shitty and wrong and whatever, and how basically like nearly everything said was just like you don't engage because like you're never going to prove them wrong. Their whole point is that they want you to argue with them. The best thing you can do is say like you're full of shit and you're an asshole. That's all, and that's all. And don't and they're going to walk away and they're going to say, oh well, I got that guy, because they called me an asshole, and so they're the ones that lost temper, and that's fine. You need to, because what they want is they want that argument. They want that argument that like that keeps going on and on, and somebody like a passerby will stop by and see it, whether it's like in real life or being posted somewhere, and they see it and they're like, well, obviously they're engaging. I mean, what's going on? Which side is right here? Which side is wrong? But like if one person, if everybody just says, no, you're being an asshole, fuck you. Like, and if enough people just continue to say that over and over again, then eventually they'll
they
just
believe it.
well, it doesn't engage with them on the level that they want, right? They want to be able to
Yes.
say, like, oh no, let's have this open discussion of ideas and theories. And
The-
instead,
the-
you're saying
The
no,
pro-
you suck. See you later.
Yeah, the problem with that though is that then they could go, "Oh, look, you're so full of rage," or whatever. I'm just trying to talk or whatever. And so, um, I found that like one of the things that's really worked pretty well for me is to just when somebody starts talking, you just go, "Hey, look, I understand that Trump represents kind of your ideal for your morals and the way you want to live your life, and you aspire to live by the same types of behaviors that Trump espouses. I get it, right? So, okay, good for you. And normally they get, well, no, I agree with his policies. I don't agree. No, hey, don't get defensive about, don't get defensive. I get it. You want to be like him. You want to talk to people the way he talks to people. You want to, put your boot on the throat of other human beings. I totally get it, right? That typically is because it's hard to argue with somebody where you're kind of complimenting them to some extent. So, and then so then they back off typically because look, he's a immoral piece of shit.
Yeah.
So, I apologize. I do have to drop. I hear my kiddo bouncing around, and I got to get her to bed. So,
Well, do what you say normally works. Beat them to sleep with the Bible, and then
right.
It's like one of my I don't remember the stand-up comedian who said that. He's like, it's like, I mean, he talked about it. He was just like, yeah, I mean, people have things that affect them when they're young. I was beaten to sleep with the Bible from ages 4 to 8. So
Oh, that's too funny.
Just
all right, hey, everybody have a great night.
Yeah, take care, brother.
Take care. See you later.
Now Forrest and I can talk wrestling. So
there you go.
Apparently, there's a High Noon short film that Dwight put out 5 months ago. It's 10 minutes for his game.
So there's a post about High Noon, the game, that said the BGG ratings for the game are very misleading. 29 out of 30 reviews of 9 or higher were posted before the physical retail copy of the games ever existed. I appreciate the ambition behind the game, but the execution leaves something to be desired. A lack of playtesting resulted in less than robust rulebook with multiple inconsistencies and omissions. Production quality was poor compared to other similarly priced titles with multiple minor print deficiencies, including white spots, color variation in the tiles of the same type, and the thinness, slipperiness of the polystyrene tiles can somewhat be cumbersome, but keeping your map in place. Gameplay can be enjoyable, but replayability is limited. This is the game for you if you want a casual skirmish game you can set up and play in under an hour once you've learned it. You want to support a new game designer. This is not a game for you if you value thoughtfully designed games with a clear set of rules, enjoy having a balanced game, and you put an importance on aesthetic presentation. Huge amount of potential this game, but poor rules, bad balance. This game is not worth the $80 they're asking. For what this Kickstarter cost, I'm disappointed. Photo quality is garbage. Gameplay is garbage. Waiting to receive the expansion so I can sell everything together and hopefully recover most of my money. Yeah. I'm very surprised that anything with such a terrible misrepresentation of indigenous peoples can be published today. Well, yeah. A ton of fake ratings. Tons of fake ratings that the guy created.
Oh, okay. So here's the thing. I, especially after looking at him, have 4,000 plus people signed up to join his backer kit page, which raised $45,000. Which I'm not saying it's a bad number, but it's just, you had 4,000 people signed up for your backer kit, like that was coming up, like bullshit. But yeah, a lot of those are very valid complaints. I think the game's pretty fun though. I mean, it's an enjoyable enough game. I still got it on my shelf. It definitely needed better rules, better components. But yeah. But yeah,
But other than that, it's good.
Pumpkin 3112 gave High Noon a 3, saying, "Not much to say other than this needs a lot of work, and this is a game that I never want to play again."
Oh, that's what I was going to say. I think that complaint, though, is a bit invalid now. And I think you're like, because how many other games have high ratings before they ship out? It's tons of them now. With Kickstarter Game Found, a game will have 20, 30, 40, 50 ratings before it's ever physically released and shipped out to people, potentially. I'm not saying he didn't bullshit the people, and I imagine that he totally fucking did. But I'm just saying, in this day and age, I don't think that's that crazy.
Well, it's pretty crazy when there's somebody saying, I've played this several times with my 9-year-old and with veterans when the game doesn't even exist anymore. It exists and they're posting that. And then there's a lot of people that basically have like the ratings of the game. They have it's rated a 10, and it's the only game they have a rating on. And it's the only and they haven't logged in since they gave the rating to the game.
Oh yeah, those ones.
Just I'm sure it's on the up and up though. Whatever.
I played this game with Betsy Ross.
It has, yeah. Hey, it's got a bunch of 1 ratings since in April already. So it looks like he's getting some exposure on his little game there, you know. So
That's just a game, Lance. It's an RPG. It's a novel. It's a short film.
short film.
It's a dessert topping. It's a floor wax.
5 months ago. I'm gonna watch it one of these days.
I bet you are.
I'm curious to see how it is. And he pumps out a boatload of expansions for it too. I mean, purely speculative, but I'm gonna guess he talked to someone in his family and was like, "There's a lot of fucking money to be made here." Showed him a bunch of Kickstarters. He's like, "Oh yeah, I can talk the pants off these dumb fucks and get all this money." Like, part of me wonders if that's how it went down. Just because, like I said, I'm friends with him on Facebook, and I see pictures of him with his family and stuff, and I'm like, "Oh man, that looks like a great family to have." Like that looks like a lot of problems go away when you have them.
Why do you say that? Just he's got a family?
No. Like financially, like it's like, oh, you're on vacation here. Oh, dad, like, I mean, you have friends on Facebook, like, oh, you got money. Yeah, you got money. Your family's got money, like that sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I just I'll I am of the opinion that that guy's a turd, and the industry would be better off with him not in it. So, did you watch WrestleMania, Forrest?
Yeah.
Well, I asked the question that made him leave. That's awesome. Steph Hodge won the Gathering of Friends poker tournament. Good for her. Hopefully he makes it back. You there still, Anthony, or am I all by myself?
I'm here listening. I didn't see wrestling.
I know.
I think Bob Backlund won, right? Bob Backlund came back and won.
Yeah. I mean, he made it to the Hall of Fame.
No, okay. I heard something Backlund, something. Yeah, no, didn't see it. I got a crew here tonight doing some other work, and they're in my way. So
Yeah.
it's wherever I got to be. They seem to be at that point in time too.
So what exactly do you do at your job?
I make sure that all of the stuff that gets delivered gets up for the next day so people can buy it.
Neat.
And I got a crew of guys here. They can make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And yes.
Oh, there he
Hey.
is. What
Oh, geez,
happened?
I forgot it was. I didn't have it plugged in, and it died.
Yeah, you were like,
I know nothing about wrestling.
did you
Did the Fabulous Beulah make a
Fabulous Moolah is actually, you don't get to mention her name anymore
Why not?
because she's not a good person.
Oh, okay. The artist formerly known as Fabulous Moolah.
she may have
Right,
been
so-
involved.
Was she one of those people with Vince McMahon doing stuff to people?
Well, maybe, but not like recently. Fabius Moolah, though, when she was younger, she um uh she probably was involved in trafficking of young female
I can see that.
yeah, of like, oh, just like, yeah. So
Gotcha.
it slowly but surely like came to
She was like
came
the
down
Della
there.
Reese from Harlem Nights of wrestling.
Yeah, there you go. That'll work.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
What?
we don't. So nobody. So the what was known as
Allegedly.
the fat allegedly, um, the Fabius Moolah got to yeah, got to live their life and then passed away before the bad things are known.
How good does that have to feel?
That you made it?
Away with like a terrible, terrible thing and just die peacefully on your deathbed. I fucking did it. I did it. I can't believe it. So
Yeah,
many-
like Jimmy Savile or Savile or whatever his name is in the UK. You ever read about him?
is he the TV guy?
He
was
was
like
the
the
children's TV guy.
He was the children's TV guy, and then after he died, it was basically like, oh my God, he did so many horrible things to children. So, did you watch WrestleMania, Forrest?
Did.
Okay, so I want to know. A couple people asked questions. I was like, what was your match what was your number one match?
Oh. I personally really liked. Man, I don't know. Are we going?
Well, I'll start off.
Yeah,
I'll say my number one match was the triple threat Io Sky, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, that was good. And I love the fact that like I mean,
Retained, yeah. That was good. And then going into it, it's like one of those things where it was like it makes perfect sense as to yeah. I mean, obviously, I mean it was like they put all the focus on Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. Though that was everything that they focused on that. Like, oh, it's like these are the people that like knew everything or whatever. And then Io Sky was the forgotten combatant. And then she managed to win, and then that was good. Were you at all surprised with the how much the crowd was behind Dirty Dom to win the four-way?
I kind of love that they got behind him. Same with Xena too. Like they were big for Xena towards.
Oh yeah, they wanted the people wanted Cena they wanted the bad guy to win, and
until Travis Scott came out. Fuck Travis.
Oh yeah, and then everybody was just like, "What are we doing here?"
Like so that was so stupid. Like it was so. Okay, no, focus on the good. I kind of like that four-way match with
Braun Breaker and
I thought the CM Punk Rollins one was good too.
That was good. That was a good match. And then the Rollins and then Paul Heyman, turning.
I feel like the one thing that's going to really stick from this WrestleMania is going to be Paul Heyman's nut shot. Honestly, I think people are going to be doing that little boom 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 boom.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be something you see for decades to come. Now, I think that'll be known as the Heyman nut shot one day. If it's not like because my kids they loved it too. Like they pretend to wrestle now. And they're like, like it's
yeah.
He somehow added just a little bit extra to a move that's been done a billion times. But no, I think that four-way match, if we're just going straight wrestling, but yeah.
Well, that and the how the crowd, Dirty Dom, Dirty Dirty Dom, dirty Dom. I mean, they were like so behind him.
Yeah.
And like I said, kudos to him. I mean, like I said this before you were on, but I mean, when he first came, it was like people were like, "What the fuck?" They were
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"What is?" And no, and they hated him. And then it was one of those things where it's like, then he turned on his dad, and then it was like, and people just hated him. And for a while, it was go away heat, but then it was like he became just the chicken shit heel, just like the guy that just and then people just and then he left Rhea Ripley, and everybody was just like, you son of a bitch, and just but now it's just like people just love him to like hate on him. And it's always better to have a bad guy hold a belt anyway, because the good guys can chase. And good guys with the belt is boring. That's why you knew Cena was going over. I mean, just because.
I'm sick of Cody Rhodes shit.
Well, I mean, it's just Cody's only fun when he's chasing, right? I mean, like he had the belt for a year. They said it was like even Caleb, my son, he was like, we were watching it, and he's like, he's had 7 title defenses in a year. I mean,
Yep.
it was like, he wasn't like actually like doing anything with it. He was just, oh, I got it now.
Yep.
I mean, it's like it was.
It's like, yep, that's it.
It's like it's like what did Heath Ledger say as the Joker? I'm just a dog chasing cars. If I caught one, I wouldn't know what to do with it. I mean, I just he's like, he wanted the belt, to win it for his dad, and then he did, and then now what? I mean, it was just kind of like, um uh I felt like, why did you bring Becky Lynch back?
Yeah, I didn't have. Yes. Well, here's the thing. Knowing what happened on Raw now changes my opinion about it, because it was like, oh, cool, Lyra Valkyria and her, they're both from fucking Scotland. They can have a tag team that goes really good for a while. And then, oh, nope, we're not. There could be some great long-term fucking storytelling, really Lyra up. And it's like, nope, we're done. It's like, okay, cool. They'll have a
Well, you know what that has to be, is that she's gonna join with her husband, Seth.
Yeah,
to be that'll be that the it'll be Heyman's crew or whatever.
That going on there.
What?
They're like, everybody's compared it to Evolution with Paul Heyman and Rollins. Like, are they gonna get? They need to get a really young guy.
Well, that's what Braun Breaker's for.
Yeah.
The young enforcer.
The memes I saw were pre Monday Night Raw. Okay.
Well, no, and now Seth can chase Jey Uso for his belt.
I was so disappointed that I knew Jey Uso was going to win, but I was like, man, I'd love it.
Yeet, yeet,
I
yeet.
would have loved it if they would have just had brush.
How good is? I don't know if you follow McIntyre on Twitter, but you should, because that guy sends out the best tweets of all time. His in-character tweets are just so good.
Yeah, I see.
And he's just like
Twitter a lot.
And then he's like, oh, I see you all want to yeet over Jey Uso. I guess he posted some gif of like Jey and Jimmy Uso giving him a concerto. I guess you want to get behind the guy who wants to kill me in the ring. Just like, how soon you forget. Just and for those of you who are like, well, that was like a year ago. This was 4 weeks ago. McIntyre is just he had a decent match with as far as like just having a brutal match. He had a good match with David Priest.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
They finished that whole thing, right? Where it was like, you screwed me out of my belt. I get to I get to get my vengeance or whatever. And I did love the fact that he went he knocked him down the ground, went to his brother in the stands, grabbed his brother's phone, and took a selfie of him next to like David Priest, who's unconscious, and sent out a tweet that said, "Still bored at work."
Yeah, I saw that one.
McIntyre's is the best. He's no. Good creative finish too. You're doing the Claymore kick, which I will always say that Drew McIntyre Claymore kick, that looks like if he hit you with it, you would be dead.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It would just remove your head from your shoulders. But yeah, set it up to like Claymore kick Priest through a steel chair. That was good. Penta is so great. I could watch Penta wrestle for hours.
Yeah, I was surprised he didn't go through NXT, and then the more I watched him, like, oh, I see why he didn't go to NXT.
Just I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means, but he goes like this, but it just looks cool. And he just, the Mexican destroyer that he does is just super smooth. I don't know. It was, and Cena winning is great.
Yep. I didn't like it,
the match took too long, but that was like, it reminded me of, and I can't help but feel that he was doing it like that, but it reminded me so much of Hogan as a heel with the NWO. Just like, just slow and ponderous, step, punch, pose for the crowd, punch, 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 pose for the crowd, throwing the ropes, elbow, pose for the crowd, just like smiles, laugh, just arrogant, real slow. But that Travis Scott though was like, what is going on? What?
his entrance was so fucking long because he did the theme song, so we got to hear him say "feed" 7,000 fucking times as this 122-pound guy fucking walks down, and we're like, the fucking Cactus Jack, sure, he's got Cactus Jack. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, my kids are like, why do I fucking care? And I'm like, I don't know why you care. It's just, I'm sorry. Sometimes wrestling's stupid.
It was like, that was fine. Somebody had to pull the ref out of the ring, and then
it could have been anyone that's not him. Like, there's so many other ways this could have been done, and just fucking, it just made Cody look like it's just, ugh.
It made Cody look stupid. It made him
this whole
guy that was so smart.
It should have been Will Ferrell.
Yeah. I don't know who. But
Will Ferrell would have made as much, like, it would have made an equal amount of sense.
I just, for a guy who was so smart for so long chasing the belt, and he finally, like, he just got so dumb when that match started. But that's fine. The Raw to WrestleMania, I'm glad to see Rusev's back. When Caleb and I are watching, Rusev is like our favorite wrestler, like one of our favorite wrestlers of all time. I don't like his new music. I think they should go back to that old music, that he had. The new music doesn't make any sense. But man, when he came, I knew they had signed him, and I was just like, oh. And I was like, Rusev's back, and he came out and manhandled everybody. Poor Takahashi, he threw him across the ring with that fall away slam. I was like, that guy. I know Rusev. I know that guy's tiny, but that's still like a 160-pound man. If you actually like physically throw him the entire way, and then able to give a power slam to what's his face, that big giant. Can't remember his name. That big huge guy. But yeah, no, Rusev's back. Braun Breaker joined up with Heyman and Rollins. Becky Lynch went evil already. I'm guessing it's gonna come out that Becky Lynch beat up Bayley, because nobody knows who beat up Bayley or whatever. They just saw that she said, I didn't see who hit me or whatever. So I'm sure that'll come out. So no, Bayley and Becky can have a thing. I thought Joe Hendry, it was like, oh, everybody's like, oh, it's so awesome. I can't believe that, like, Joe, like, the TNA champion got to be, and then Randy Orton just treated him like he was nothing.
Yeah, I was disappointed, but not shocked. Like, Because
Well, yeah, they were gonna put him over. I mean,
Like, me and my like my kids are huge, huge Joe Henry fans. Like,
yeah, I didn't like that at all.
and I popped too. I was like, oh my god, that's cool. He's getting a WrestleMania moment, but it's like we couldn't have cut off like 30 seconds to like maybe 4 people's entrances. Maybe fucking Travis Barker gets a minute less to walk down to the ring or something.
Yeah.
Like, minutes of fucking offense here or there. You know, he's not like the best wrestler. Like he's done that all himself. Like, but
Yeah. Say his name and he appears.
either way, I like, and I watched an interview with him where he talked about it after the fact, and I still think it's really cool, and I think it's awesome that Triple H did it. I'll put it at that. I love the fact that the door was open there. It was like, oh shit, that's the TNA World Champion facing the Viper, and Las Vegas is going crazy because he appeared. So like, I love it as a moment. I wish it would have been just a smidge bit longer.
You match was kind of a letdown,
Was
which
that-
I had Paul Logan and AJ Styles.
Yeah, AJ's. I mean, I was watching AJ when I was 19,
Yeah,
so it's like, yeah,
but he's still head and shoulders a better wrestler than 90% of the people that are on the roster.
he is. But just that match would have been an all-timer 20 years ago, or 15 years ago, or 12 years ago, or and it was good. It's a good match. But yeah, I expected more too. I honestly did. It's just I think that says a lot about how great Logan Paul is. It's like, oh yeah, I expected you to fucking tear that. I expect you to steal the show. I honestly was like, oh, what's he gonna do? It was like,
Yeah.
cool, and it's like, yeah, but it's just.
Oh, when Styles busted out the like what's that I talk? When he busted out the brain smasher, the vertical, but instead you drop them right down on the top of their head or whatever. I was like, they don't do that much. I was like, that was a good move. No, I mean it felt like that match was in slow motion, and I just and then it was once again, AJ Styles was dumb. It was like you're like right in front of right. It was so stupid. He's like, "Oh, Karrion Kross stopped that guy with that idiot or whatever with the brass knuckles." And then he takes him away, and he's just like, and he's trying to hand it to AJ Styles, and like right in front of the ref, who's like looking right at him.
Yeah.
So just take this illegal weapon and go inside there.
My kids, my 9-year-old was like, why isn't he doing anything? Like he literally was like, dude, I don't just. Like we said that a couple times, like Jesus, these are fucking NXT refs here. It's like the guy in the fucking John Cena match. Was it as glaring to you at the end when the Paul Heyman, not the Paul, the triple threat? Like he didn't know what to do. He just awkwardly stood around when Paul Heyman was the ring. Like go back, watch the last minute and a half. Yeah. I couldn't stop making fun of the guy. My family was rolling over, just like this guy, because he didn't look like he even belonged there too. Like he had a big old spray tan on, like, and he was just so, like the officiating was, the reffing was just, it's weird.
Well, I mean, it's refs in a professional wrestling, but they serve a
no, it's a big deal.
It is a big deal, but here's the deal: that whole thing with like with the ref just staring at him as he's trying to hand him the weapon to use, and like the ref's just sitting there staring at him. Like Logan Paul should be like trying to like go over there. The ref's supposed to be like, no, you gotta get away, or whatever. You gotta have some bullshit reason why the ref isn't looking that way, and they just weren't doing anything with it. And it was just, and I was like, why? What's going on? And why isn't anything happening there?
I will say the ref moment of the year happened on the NXT pay-per-view. I don't know if you watched it or not.
No.
It was a pretty good pay-per-view, the Stand and Deliver. But there was Oba Femi is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's spectacular. He's gonna be all over Raw and SmackDown pretty soon, I think in like the next 6 to 12 months. But he was in a triple threat match, and Oba Femi was trying to stop the classic trying to stop him from getting in the ring, right?
Mhm.
The ref kicked him in the fucking face. And like my entire family was like, "Oh my god!" Like we rewinded. It was like he just kicked the world champion 7-foot tall monster in the face. It's like, holy shit, he did. It's like, that's great. That's exactly what a ref should do. Like, it's 110% what all these refs should be fucking trained to do, and they just don't. They do the stupidest shit. It's just like, have you people watched wrestling before you get trained to be fucking referees? Like, just the simplest stuff. Like, there's a couple times where it's like, why are you not counting yet? Like, back in my day, we used to fucking count when people left the ring. Like we didn't let the plot simmer on the outside before we start counting.
I always love that count too. It's 1.
Yeah. Give me, yeah. It was
2. When I was watching Stone Cold drive around in the ATV, I was like, he's kind of going a little fast. He better slow down. He's gonna and he hit the wall.
Oh, did you see the behind the scenes footage of why he took so long to get on the stage?
No, why?
Because he missed the ramp. He ran into another wall. There's the behind the scenes footage of him. Yeah, he missed the entrance ramp. Because my wife was like, "Wow, he's really letting the music go." I was like, "Yeah, that's not like Stone Cold. That's weird." And it turned out, yeah, because he was probably drunk on his ATV and couldn't get on the fucking stage.
Oh yeah, and I think when I was watching him go around the stage, I was like, he's kind of going a little fast. He should probably
pace, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that's kind of because you noticed a couple of the turns, like one of the wheels was like leaving the ground a little bit, and I was like, yeah, I don't want Steve Austin to like die in an ATV accident at WrestleMania 41, and then he runs into the wall and breaks the ATV, and and then knocks some woman on her ass. And she was like,
they slow mode that. She totally was diving for. She was like, "Oh, this might be an opportunity to make some money." It looks like, which I can't.
Those seats cost like 15 grand. I don't think she needs money. I mean,
well, she does. She paid 15 grand for the seats.
Well, I suppose, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it's like they set up the next, like, I mean, obviously it's gonna be Randy Orton and John Cena at Backlash, because Orton came out and gave him the RKO, and you'll just have a John Cena, shit heel win. I mean, at some point he's gonna have to, come back into the light or whatever, and be. What I really thought was going to happen with the tag team match? Well, it's like, did anybody think the War Raiders were going to retain when they took on the New Day? But what I thought for sure was going to happen was that like they were going to be evil or something, and then Big E was going to come down and say, "Guys, you can't do this," or whatever, and then Big E would then like do something heel. And then he could be part of New Day again, but just as the manager, because he can't wrestle anymore, because they basically said you wrestle again, you could die.
Pretty big deterrent.
Yeah. So, but I mean, can you imagine just Big E just wears a suit and maybe comes out with a cane, like uses to trip people up or something? I think that would be. But I know they're just keeping him doing the whatever. So we're gonna have a match. So the old joke is that it's just like the kid goes home and he's like, "Dad, it's like why is it's like I heard Mom really likes the season Autumn. Is that why is that why my sister's name is Autumn?" He's like, "Yeah, that's true." And he's like, well, then how do I get my name? And he's like, "Well, I'll tell you, Raw after WrestleMania." But so when you so are we supposed to believe that Pat McAfee and Gunther are gonna like
have a match, and I'm supposed to believe that Pat McAfee can win against the ring general. I mean, and how? Okay, I know it's fake. I absolutely know that it's fake. But how? How could anybody believe that when you have 6.5 foot tall Gunther like screaming at Michael Cole, like literally 2 feet away from his face, and I'm supposed to believe that when Michael Cole goes, "Hey, I'm not the one who tapped out." I mean, who would do that in real life? Just like, so dumb.
But so fun.
I know. And I'm a big Gunther fan too. They're trying to get a match, Goldberg and Gunther. They've been they teased it earlier in the year when Goldberg was when they were in Atlanta and Goldberg was on the Hall of Famer Bill Goldberg is here, and then Gunther was in the ring and he called him out, and I forget what he said, but he
I remember that altercation you're talking about.
Yeah, and then Goldberg like, okay, and he leaped over he jumped over the barricade, and then they had the whole, you got to separate them or whatever. I love how this. Even my son was watching when Gunther like slapped on his rear naked choke on Pat McAfee and drops to the ground, and then his like Pat McAfee's entourage like tries to help or whatever. They have like 10 security people holding them back, and they got one referee. Come on, Gunther, stop choking the life out of this man. It's like just tapping him on the shoulder. I was like, what? Why don't they just let his friends come over and beat the piss out of him? I mean, he's like he's obviously engaged, choking the guy. Your friends go over and just start punching you in the face over and over again until you let him go. He's like, our friend's being choked to death over here, guys. You got to get him out of the barricade. We got it handled. Come on, Gunther, let him go. Let him go. Come on.
I feel like there needs to be someone behind, like backstage, that's just like a logic checker. Like, all right, logically, you guys run out there. Like, it's so, and it's even worse in NXT too. Like how the security acts and like how the rep. It's like, and there's no logical throw. Like, oh, they need 16 refs broken up over here, but 3 matches later, the 2 other people are brawling in that same fucking spot. Nobody gives a shit. Like nobody cares, and it's like these discrepancies just make it all look so phony, and it's like it doesn't have to. You don't have to. You just have to fucking find the consistency and stick with it. And it's just it drives me nuts.
You and I would though. I would absolutely if I was a professional wrestler and I was going to wrestle somebody who used a spear as a move, I would never stand in front of that one spot of the barricade that always breaks free whenever you get rammed into it. It's right to the right of the announce desk. It's always that spot. It's just like, I love how they were like, at WrestleMania they got those new desks and they power bombed one, and then Pat McAfee goes, I didn't even know these things can be broken. Oh my gosh, they broke our brand new desk. The next thing they're all put back together. It's just like, you can't say that about your announce table, saying, I can't believe they broke it. Oh, okay, just put the Legos back together. There, it's fixed. It's good to go. I know it's wrestling, but it's like, it's weird that like it's just like, don't make it so easy to
see
not
rings.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, like, just put it put put the hide the wires a little bit or whatever. So you don't.
It's so bad. Like NXT overall as a product is getting better, like the quality, but like there's so many things where I'm just like, this is so shit, and it doesn't need to be. It just needs one person who's just like, oh, like you wrestled 45 minutes ago. You shouldn't still be incredibly exhausted right now. Like you can stop the like it's like you ever does that happen on Raw and SmackDown a lot where it's like real time just fucks with it? It's like why are you but like you've been fighting for the last 43 minutes, like right, like just stupid shit. It's like just have one person, just common sense person. Like how many minutes?
Yeah.
Like how sweaty should you be? Like how long have you been in this training room?
Yep. No. Oh, and that freaking Tiffany Stratton Flair match was horrible. I mean,
yeah.
It was like a half hour, and it just went on, and it went on, and it went on, and it was just like, I remember like, I was like after 15 minutes, I was like, is this match even close to being done? I was like, and I remember my buddy that I'm friends with, who wrestles in an independent up here, he sent me a text. It's time to go home, girls. It's just like which is the wrestling saying for wrap it up. Get it's like it's a time like that's if you're in the ring and you're wrestling and somebody says, time to go home, and they're like, yeah, then they do their finish. And he's just like, time to go home, girls. Another 15 minutes went by before the ending. It was such a boring match. It was just it went on and on and on and on.
I liked Tiffany Stratton when she was in NXT, and then when she got called up, I was like, wow, that seems too soon. And then when they put her the title on her, I was like, wow, that seems not great. And like I like her, but she's young as hell, and it's like she needs to develop and simmer and just she just they're like, nope, you can get up there, WrestleMania, go be Charlotte Flair, carry that shit.
All I saw in that match is a ton of blonde hair flying around. You know what I mean? At certain times it was just like just a lot of hair, which God bless. But I mean, I like where they're going with El Grande Americano. You know that eventually he's gonna have to. There's gonna be a like hair. There's gonna be a hair versus hair match. Oh no, a mask versus mask match. That and it's going to have to be something where they're going to have to find another wrestler who's going to have Chad Gable's build a little bit, and then they'll unmask him, and it won't be him or something. I do think I have a loaded metal plate in my mask is about the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
That was it was clever.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's just like, wouldn't that hurt you? Just hurt you too? I mean, like, I don't know about you, Forrest, but if I took like say a wrench and put it on my head and then I headbutted you, I think I would also be like, holy shit, that wasn't a smart idea.
Oh, he got kicked in the head. He didn't headbutt him. He got kicked in the head.
No, he does that top rope headbutt as his finisher because he's got the metal bolt in his head or whatever it is. It's just
that after that, yeah.
Yeah, it's just that Naomi Jade Cargill match was dumb too. Just
Jade Cargill's $1 million. I like her a lot.
But she can't wrestle. I mean, seriously, it's like she's like her move is look how strong I am. Because I can pick up these women that weigh 150 pounds.
She needs to be hidden, but I mean, I think they just need to give her a shitty belt run and then go put her in some movies. Like she feels like she's gonna make him a lot of money.
Yeah.
If they just put because she just has such a look that is just you can't buy. Like because Bianca Belair has a look, but hers she's like the strength, the blue, like the whoa.
Yeah, but she's also boring too. I mean, it's just like, and the crowd hates her. Have you noticed that? That like whenever even when she was trying to be a face, like the crowd just booed and booed when she went to that Puerto Rico match. And I think she wrestled Io Sky in Puerto Rico. The crowd, like, and Io Sky was evil at that time. She was part of whatever evil group that she was in, that they cheated and did everything the bad and everything like that. And every single time Io got a success, the crowd was just cheering like crazy. And then Bianca Belair looked lost. She was like, just looking at the crowd like, what's going on? Why don't you guys like me? I don't know. It's
I got a soft spot for her.
that's fine. You can, but I mean, again, she really doesn't have any. She has the KOD, which is fine. But again, her move is I can pick up a 120-pound girl and walk up the stairs. Because look how strong I am. Watch her when she wrestles, man. She just, I mean, and okay, I get it. She's got hair that's like 6 feet long or whatever. I mean, if you were wrestling her, like, why wouldn't you just be constantly grabbing that hair and yank? You know, I mean, like, so the ref go, "Hey, watch the hair. Hey, watch the hair." I mean, you wouldn't that be the only move? Did you just be like, "Oh, you're trying to? Okay, I'll just yank this and pull you down."
I feel like you
And-
said that about a lot of wrestlers, though.
What?
I feel like you said about a lot of
But she's the only wrestler out there that actually, like, that's part of her thing, right? You know, like, oh, look how long my hair is. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, theoretically, like, yeah, Kevin Nash, when he had long hair, you know, I don't know. It just bugs me. It bugs me. And I don't understand why everybody gets like there was far, like, Ember Moon was a far better wrestler, like in ring talent than either Bianca Belair or Jade Cargill.
She was
And
also substantially shorter, though.
oh yes, but far better in ring
Yeah.
talent, and
I like Ember Moon.
they did nothing with Ember. Whatever. And Ember is actually a huge board game nerd too.
Is she really?
Yeah, when she did her Instagram, she'd like take pictures of the board games and stuff she was playing. Plus, she was at I think she was at Origins. Remember? I remember
What?
yeah, she was at Origins one year.
No, I didn't know that.
Just wandering around. I was like, came over to the Gray Fox booth, and I was like, she's like looking at, like, after the Empire or something. I was like, holy crap, you're Ember Moon. She's like, oh, hey, thanks, nice to meet a fan. I was like, cool. And somewhere I have a picture. I have a selfie somewhere with her.
I would flip out if I saw that selfie. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
She was one of my wife's favorite before she got cut.
yeah. Well, I watched Orange Cassidy wrestle a match in Fargo before he got into AEW, and like, that guy is 5 feet tall. But I have a selfie with him too.
Is that
He
the
was
guy?
he was awesome. He was super cool.
Is that the guy who puts his hands in his pockets?
Yeah, that's the guy who puts his hand in Orange Cassidy. Comes out, he's got his orange juice.
I've watched him wrestle twice. I was not impressed either time.
Really? He's got such a great gimmick where he's like, oh, puts his hands in.
What?
I don't know. It's a good gimmick.
It's a small sample size. Small sample size, but
When he does the when he does the kicks, the kicks to the legs, like, oh,
yeah,
oh,
I know what you're talking about. It's not for me.
then he backs up, oh, and he does the super kick end. And then usually, like, the announcer goes, "How is he still standing after this brutal assault?" There's something to be said about when people don't take the wrestling seriously, you know, and they make it kind of everybody's in on the joke and everybody can laugh. I like that.
Yeah.
And if it comes down to it, like when Orange Cassidy finally, like, wrestles for real, that guy can move. And he's actually, like, when he isn't doing a joke, you know, he can actually wrestle for realses. But whatever.
I feel like getting rid of the cruiserweight title was just such a poor choice.
Yeah.
Like, it's just because it just shuffles them into the Intercontinental race, and then it or tag team, but most of the time Intercontinental, and I think it cheapens the Intercontinental, and it just and those matches were fucking awesome. like especially like those 3, 4, 5, 6 man matches, like with it flying around, like those
Yeah.
are great. Like
doing the flippy shit, right? And just and then yeah, no. But what are you gonna do? I suppose. Well, did you play any new games there, Forrest?
not. Wait, have I? I don't know. My brain's mush. Been counting components for hours and hours and hours.
Your brain's mush. Why are you counting components? I don't
Been doing the
understand.
math trade, so I gotta make sure every game has all the chits and the components and the 163 cards. Ugh.
Ugh.
Yeah, I gotta count like 40 games worth of components one by one. Not fun.
What's the big game that you're trying to get out of the
Oh, I don't know. I got a list. There's a lot. There's a lot of good stuff. I mean, most of the time it's just anything in the top 1,000 I've never played. It's like, I want that. Let's see. The ones that I got love next to are Dungeon Fighter. Plus, they had like 3 expansions, which I think my kids would absolutely love. Dungeon Fighter, like a flicking game. Let's see.
I'm aware.
Gaia Project, Lord of Rings, Journey to Middle Earth. Some big box stuff that I think my kids will like, or that are just highly rated. Stockpile, the Epic Edition, which has every single thing featured, and I've always wanted to play it. Archipelago. Let's see. I got Twilight Imperium plus all the expansions, but I'm pretty sure I'm just going to try and flip that for something else that's way better. So I hope I don't actually get it. Let's see. Ticket to Ride Legacy. Yeah, I'd love to get that one. Gloomhaven, like that. My son wants to do that. Those are the big ones, but then there's like 40 or 50 other games that I just like Food Chain Magnate plus expansion, Bomb Squad. There's Smash Up with like 5 or 6 expansions. Boon Lake, Twa, Jaws, Detective. Let's see. Nucleum, Sleeping Gods in the expansion, Age of Innovation, Struggle of Empires, Bitoku, a lot of Euros, Wasteland Express, Rex, Earth Reborn, Whistle Mountain, just a lot of stuff that I know is going to be great to very, very good, and a lot of expansions that I want, and a lot of stuff that's like completionist, like, oh, Bang the Dice game, but with both expansions. Great. I'll trade a $60 Euro for that in a heartbeat. Not even think about it because it's a $60 Euro game I reviewed. I didn't give a shit about. So it's just my attic ready to collapse on my head one day.
Oh, you put the just fall on my head one day. I'll
Not
be
if
like,
I trade it. Not if I trade it.
have you ever thought about just getting rid of all that shit?
No. Man, I grew up with a scarcity mindset. I hold to that dear. Those are a commodity that I will not just give away or no. I gotta sell them.
But you'll never sell them.
I sell some. I sold a bunch in the garage sale. Like my mother-in-law had a big garage sale and I had a game table. And I probably sold like 50, 60 games for like $5 a pop. Just like a boatload of stuff that I didn't give a shit about. Like Battle of the Babies, like just the crappiest crap that you get. You're like, shot a video, and then I immediately just threw it in the attic because I knew I didn't like the game. So yeah, there used to be a lot more up there.
So why don't you do that again?
Because I'd rather do a math trade and get games that I'm really excited about and shoot a video on it.
I mean, I don't want to tell you how to live your life because I'm not gonna bother. But why wouldn't you just like sell them and then you could buy then you could buy that car to replace the one that that you that just broke. You just think of that. You could be driving the car on this board games. Bought this car.
Not that easy to sell the games unless I'm going to sell them in bulk to a friendly local game store. And the majority of the games that I have at this point in my attic are absolute horse shit.
Are these still the games you got like a decade ago because some guy was getting rid of them?
No. These are like, this is like, well, let's be frank. There's 1,000 Kickstarter games that come out a year. These are the ones in the bottom 300 of those 1,000 every year. Like, I'll put it like that. A huge chunk of these were crowdfunded, or they were just one print run on a whim at Essen, and they had like a 1,000 print run and just like that sort of thing. Like, most of these are not great games at this point. So I wouldn't get much money for them, and selling them is not easy. Like, unless I'm going to take nothing for them. Like, they're like, all right, I'll give you $100 for that whole thing. And I'd rather just get the more valuable games that I actually could turn around and sell much easier, like the Twilight Imperium with the expansions.
But okay, but you yourself just said, I mean, I guess I'm not following it, and explain to me how this works. Like, you're going to have these games or whatever, but you just said that these are on the bottom barrel. Why would people want to trade anything for these games?
Because they don't know they're the bottom of the and as I mentioned, you got to do the sweeteners.
The sweeteners.
The sweeteners. I'll give you an example. Battle of the Babies is not a game that I'm going to be featuring as a game. No, I have a 2 to 4 player collection that will get you Battle of the Babies, Rick and Morty's Anatomy Park, Remnants, Bad Doctor, and like 3 or 4 other mediocre games that I don't give a shit about. Because I know what I was like when I first got in the hobby, which was like, what? I could trade this one shitty Kickstarter I didn't like for 9 new games? What? Rick and Morty's here? This is a good publisher. Like, and I'd be like, yeah, sure, why not? And like I said, as soon as one person, just that one person lets you in the door on the math trade, you're in, baby. You're in. Because you don't have to trade that person. You can trade somebody else who's trading that person. It's like, yeah, I love the math trades. Love them.
So this is what I want to see. I want you either to do it for this or do a video for your channel about like, hey, these are the math trades I did, and these are the games I offered.
I talked to Scott about it earlier. This is what I'm doing. I've already shot part of it.
Yeah. And this is the math trade for what, Origins?
Yeah.
Which is coming up like soon.
Not that soon.
Well, June.
2 months. That's a
Man, that time goes by like nothing.
Nope, it's not going to. It's going to go by slow because I need it to.
Why?
I just got a lot of shit to do when my kids get out of school.
You'll blink and it'll be over.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, that'll be interesting. I'll be interested to see just how well your Rick and Morty Anatomy Park, what it gets you, and yeah, I'll be interested to see how well that goes.
Yeah, I'm interested too. I also found a bunch of old promos that I have, like from way back when, like I do the Gen Con Bonanza. That was like, oh yeah, we'll send you some extra stuff, and they've just been sitting in the attic collecting dust. And so I was like, all right, how many like bundles of promo cards could I put together? It was 3. I got 3 bundles of promo cards with like 15 different promos from like 13 different games, and I'm like, ooh, maybe I could get myself like a good euro for this, like so those are going to be 3 of them that it's like, I'll take fucking whatever. Because sometimes people do that. They'll be like, I'm going to put $15 gift card here to Apple, like stuff like that, weird stuff. And it's like, I don't think they allow them now, but they used to be kind of a wild west. But yeah, so I'm excited to see what I can get for those.
Yeah, I don't know what you'll get for those. I don't think it'll be much.
All it takes is one person who's like, oh yeah, I want those 4 Mage Wars promo cards, and yeah, I have Wits and Wagers. Sure, I want the promo questions, and it's like, yeah, I'll give you my copy of let's see, Twa.
I don't think that's gonna happen for us.
Hey,
I in my Harry Potter closet, I have 2 giant canvas bags full of promos that I've been telling myself, you've got to go through those and just like figure out what games they go to. And then like if they're games I own, put those in the goddamn bags, that where in the boxes where they should be. Or if not, like either throw them away or like, find somebody that owns the games and wants them.
put them in a math trade. There you go.
Yeah, no, I'm not. My goal is to be almost 100% board game free, other than like a small handful of things that I'll play with my kids. And then I will let other people own the board games, and I will play their copies of the board games. When I went to that cabin get together last year, that my buddy Paul runs, like I went there and I brought like one bag full of games, and I'm thankful I did, because like they didn't know what Strike was, and I was like, you guys have never played Strike? I was like, okay, this will be the best game you've ever played. Hold on. Like I brought that and Flip 7, and everybody just kept playing them over and over again because they loved it. But well, no, yeah, those are great games. Like I said, you teach them in 5 seconds, and my favorite thing about Strike is that the first time people play it, they're like, "That's all there is." I was like, "Yeah, that's all there is to the game." He's like, "This sounds stupid." I was like, "Just play it." And then all of a sudden, they're like, half hour has gone by. They played 10 games of it, and they're screaming at each other. I mean, the game is fantastic. But no, anyway, I was sitting there, and I saw these guys. They all brought like it seemed like they brought like 50 games each. It was absolutely ridiculous. I was like, why do you have all these games? I mean, like they didn't play, half of them.
Well, how many people were at this get together?
What, 12? 13?
I can respect it. I'd bring 2 big bags. I mean, you never know what people want to
It
play.
wasn't 2 big baggies. I mean, each person probably brought between 30 to 40 games each. And they were just...
I imagine they wanted there to be a library for people to choose from.
Maybe.
And then the other thing is, deep down, I imagine that was a lot of games they really wanted to play. Like, oh shit, love to get this to the table, love to get that to the table. Like, all it takes is that one person who's like, oh, what's this one? You're like, oh, well, yeah, let's get that one going.
Yeah, I mean, eyes bigger than your stomach kind of thing going on, I suppose. Where you...
I do the same thing, so I can't criticize. Like, I've loaded up my trunk for nothing. I've brought so many games that I've been embarrassed to bring any games into a thing where it's like, do you bring any games? It was like, no, because I didn't want to like bring in just one bag because all the bags are gigantic.
Yeah,
I get it. I feel those people.
You feel them? Probably should.
You never know when you're going to need 50 games.
Maybe, but I mean, it was too much, and I was just kind of like, I can't believe you have all this stuff, but whatever. I mean, good for them, I guess.
I'm moving the opposite way, trying to get more games.
Because you're insane. Because you're an idiot.
Get back on the horse more with the videos. Like I did a how to play video for an upcoming game this week, and it's like, all right, felt good. Bruno Feduti gave me a thumb up on Board Game Geek the night I posted the how to play for his game, and I was like, oh, that's a good sign. That's a good sign I didn't fuck up. Like that's nice.
Which game is this?
I don't know. It's from Trick or Treat Studios. Treasure of the Dwarves, which is Bruno Feduni, and he redid his older game Dreadful Circus, and yeah, it's got a really cool auction mechanism. I think you call it "You Can't Go Back," where essentially you get offers, and you look at the offer, and you have to immediately accept it or immediately reject it and move on to the next offer. And you don't know what you're getting into. And then if you get to the last offer, you can just reject everything and just not sell anyone a card. But everybody gets shafted. It looks really cool, and it goes up to 8 players, which seems pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited about it. I was hoping to play it tonight, but then we ended up looking for a used car. So okay.
Your gaming group started looking for a used car?
Well, no, me and my wife did, so I didn't know how late we'd be. I just canceled game night.
It's always a sad day when you have to cancel game night.
Yeah, it is, but it was a good night. Good family time.
Yeah. Well, I suppose 1:15. I got a ton of shit I gotta take care of tomorrow. You're just going to Origins as a guy, right? You're not going because you're attached to anything or anything, right?
I mean, no, I'll shoot some videos while I'm there. Plan on playing a bunch of games, but yeah. Nope.
Are you bringing your entourage with you, or is it just you?
No, that's my buddy Brandon, and he's like just a dude. So yeah, pretty much just playing games, hanging out, shooting videos, seeing my review copies. Typical media stuff.
Got it. Did you get your media badge?
I applied for it. I don't think I've heard back from him. I gotta look into that. If not, I'll get a regular one. It's not the end of the world.
Well, I mean, and if you want to buy a badge through us, we can get you an exhibitor.
Might hit you up. I might take you up on that. I'll see if I got media.
I think they're $75 for the exhibitor badges. So I don't know what the normal badge runs you, but I mean, at least then you get in early and you can stay late.
Yeah, that is nice, especially for shooting interviews and whatnot. Yeah, I'll let you know. I gotta check my email, see if I got my press pass, I suppose, this week.
All right. Well, everybody, thanks for. It's not early boom. It's 1:15 in the morning, not early boom. Maybe I'll have 2 initials next week since I got one set up, and we'll see if I'm lazy or not. Whether or not I have 2 initials next week. Put all that work in. I knew Aldi wasn't gonna make it. He was like, "I'm gonna be flying home." I knew he'd be tired. I didn't realize he was gonna be sick. So that's fine. We can roll with it next week. I don't know. Everybody be good, be decent, and all right, Forrest. Well, good talking to you, brother.
Laters.
Take care, guy.